Your Friday is a special one. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Come on. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. Long. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let me know the audio's straight. Come on. It should be good right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, come on. What's good? Appreciate everybody, man. I really thank each and every last one of you all for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. We talk Cowboys football and beyond. And if you guys been hiding under a rock, you may not know what's been going on, but man, oh man, it's been some crazy stuff that's going on. You know, we got It's a Family Fair going on, man. Oh my goodness, man. But it's a solution looking. When the off season hit us by surprise, people tend to start looking for things, right? How they can become better. What went wrong? What went right? Who should we keep? Who need to go? What need to change, right? And the whole conversation is a guy that wears 2 ones on his front and back, and his name is Micah Parsons. The conversation started last week. My guy Jesse Holly, he broke down the things that he saw from Micah Parsons, and he said from his mouth to all of y'all ears, he probably be the most selfish guy, and that was his opinion. Now, for those who are out there who don't know, who follow the nation, write this down. Those convinced against their will is of the what? Same opinion still. So I truly believe that when you listen to Jesse Holly, he's coming from an area of concern and sincerity. But also his delivery was very harsh to those who are out there listening. Now, it's a two-way street. Respect goes 2 ways. And I would tell y'all right now that when you listen to what he had to say, and I'll play some of the audio here, I would say this, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't go very well with the community. It became toxic because previously we had family members talking, and now that sullies and muddies a lot of things as far as the overall thought output of it, right? And I get it. If y'all want to blame anybody, don't blame Jerry. Don't blame John Stephen Jones. Don't blame Micah Parsons. Don't blame the Parsons family. Don't blame Jesse. Blame Law. Put it on me, baby. Put it on me, baby. Put it on me. Put it on me. Put it on me because I'm the one that posted the video. I could have just ate it, right? I should have not even posted it because what's happening now is now there's an attack on Jesse, and now there's an attack on the Parsons family, and now that's not a good look. There's an attack on Jerry. There's an attack on John Stephen Jones. They attacking everybody. Attack me, baby. Don't attack the Cowboy Nation, because at the end of the day, I'm the one that need to fall on the sword. So y'all blame me, man. Y'all blame me, man. Good.
That's where the guts just dropped them.
Yeah. So we're going to try to make sure that when I say things, I tell people this all the time. Y'all saying, man, Law be trying to put cover over players, because I look at it differently. When we breaking down tape and we talking about wide receiver routes or what have you, and they curve their routes, and we supposed to put your foot down inside, then break in, get inside to catch the ball, we're talking it from a level of our understanding. We're not talking from the level of what the player's going on in his mind and what the route was supposed to be and all of that. We talking about a player from our mindset. So the whole argument with Micah Parsons, is he an off-ball linebacker? Is he an edge guy? Is he a guy that you can put at free safety? Can you put him at running back? Can you put him at split back? Can he be a tight end? Can he be the president? Micah Parsons can be all of those things, ladies and gentlemen. The dude is just that good. Excuse me, the dude is just that great, So that's how I look at it, ladies and gentlemen. I always say these things about Parsons. He's a specialized weapon. And if he want to play edge, let him play edge. If he want to play linebacker, let him play linebacker. But news been brought down to the people that just maybe is Dan Quinn, the science man. Maybe it's Dan Quinn. That's the thing of it all. There's only one defensive coordinator that likes to use stuff that they don't belong. There's only one who would take a safety and say you're a linebacker. There's only one that would take a linebacker and say, hey, I want you at edge. There's only one that's not using everything, Hey, instead of playing man-to-man, let's go zone. I can't make this stuff up.
He ain't lying.
But, here's the thing. Don't, Alfred, don't you do that to us now. Don't you do that to us. He said, I hope Dan Quinn is staying. No. Let's listen to this audio first and foremost. And if I offended anyone, I always say charge it to my beard, not my heart, or charge it to my head, not my heart. But we're going to listen to this audio, and let me know if you guys can hear the audio. Appreciate all of y'all. This is going to be Jesse Holly. Let me clear it up right here. Hold on. Let me do one other thing. Got to build a plane while we fly. Appreciate y'all, man. And we're going to try to make sure that the people understand what we are saying, basically. And also, we're going to make sure people see it from both sides of the argument, too. And I always like to say that because at the end of the day, what we want, ladies and gentlemen, what we want. We want to win at the end of the day. They can call me and say, hey, Law, we want you out there. I won't tell them, nah, man, but give me the money, though. Give me the money, though. Give me the money, y'all.
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
Hey, man, they got Law in free safety, man. God dog, man. You see that 40-year-old man laid out like Family Guy? Yeah, but he got the bag.
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night.
Hey, I'm going to give y'all all I got, man. That's all I can give y'all, man. But let's listen to this right quick. Let's go. And I hope I made somebody laugh today. I guarantee you that.
Gripe at Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons, to me,
right.
This is just Jesse Holly, is probably the most selfish player on this football team. One of the reasons why Micah Parsons does not want to play linebacker, it's too much of a responsibility.
Oh, wow.
Definitely more responsibility for sure.
I got to study harder. I got to now look at keys and formations and all that. See, when Micah get lined up and just go get the quarterback, and I'm not calling him a dumb player. I'm not calling him dumb at all.
True.
There's no thinking in that. That's
Now, granted, that's what he said. He said he's not calling Micah Parsons a dumb player. He's not calling Micah Parsons out. Now, these are his thoughts and his opinions of the matter, and that's why he brought up the word probably. But let's listen to more what he had to say. And salute to your stargazer as well as somebody else, but salute to your stargazer. We're going to get to those questionings in a few, but go ahead.
Pure natural instincts. You saw in the game when Micah had to drop back in coverage, fish out of water. He didn't know where to turn. He didn't know where to look, right? And even when Micah plays off the ball, he ain't reading nothing. He's just going. He's just going. And so linebacker requires you to be able to adjust, be able to you got to really hone in and focus. Micah, and maybe it's just the youth in him, Micah doesn't want to study. Micah doesn't want to focus in.
Salute to you,
and
Neil.
I truly believe Micah wants to be great for Micah. And if the team just so happens to profit from his greatness, then cool. But I'm not willing to have my greatness sacrificed for y'all.
Yeah. Do you think he'll be better in that position, like as in linebacker, just in reading?
No,
That's my guy, DeRoe. Salute to DeRoe. Salute to him and everybody that's watching. And y'all know how it goes.
Sacrifice.
From the outside looking in, we don't know the stipulations and the ramifications or the anything that they try to put in on front of these players. Like, for example, Parsons could be at every practice saying, hey, I want to be Mike. I want to be the Mike. My guy Dan Quinn say we raise the blade thin at linebacker, but we need also help on the edge. That could be a possibility, right? And at the end of the day, the person that makes the call ultimately is from above. Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr., Al Harris, Scott McCurley, Darian Thompson. Those are your guys. Dirty. All of those guys are on the defensive side of the coin. So when they go into that game plan, and if they are not utilizing Micah Parsons to the best ability for this team, then it's shame on them. It's flat out shame on them. But let's listen to what they have to say.
Do you think he'll really be the most effective, or do you think he can like grow into that and actually become that and be more effective?
When I watch Fred Warner, right? When I watch Fred Warner,
that's a great example.
I see a dude who is so locked in.
Yeah.
Who's, knowledge-wise, is so locked in. If you just did sheer athleticism for athleticism,
Right.
he don't stand close to Micah. He ain't strong as Micah. He ain't fast as Micah. He don't jump higher. He don't lift nothing.
Right.
But this up here, he laps Micah. And if Micah ever was to get into the Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu school of film watching,
Right.
Ray Lewis school of film watching, with Fred Warner school of film watching,
Yeah.
bro, he could play anywhere. The problem is he doesn't want to, because he said, well, I've already had success doing this, and I'm about to get the biggest bag in NFL history doing simply this. One of the reasons why he's always going to finish second and third to those other guys in Defensive Player of the Year award, because he don't want to play in the run game. He don't want to play in the run game. And the Myles Garretts and the TJ Watts and the Nick Bosas and the Max Crosbys, they are down in, down out players. They play the run, they play the pass, they understand what they're doing. I think that is, for me, that is the biggest part of Micah Parsons' game. That, and again, it could come to a level of maturity.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I was going to ask you. Did those other players like grow more into that, or were they off the bat?
That's who they were. Like Fred Warner, that's who he is. Like those guys, like Ed Reed, that's who he was. Ray Lewis, those guys understood that in order for me to be great, I had to have the most information that I possibly could. But Micah is one, he's the OG.
Okay.
He don't got no OG. He's the OG.
Yeah.
He dictates what happens around here. I've questioned it many times. When I watch the Niners play defense, I see a defense that Fred Warner is taking these guys and say, yo, I know the day's over. We're going to stay 45 minutes longer. Yeah. I don't believe Micah's doing that. I don't believe he's the OG that's saying, Clark, so-and-so. So, hey, defense. We going in here after practice is over, and we gonna put another hour in. Matter of fact, y'all go home, take a shower, kiss y'all wives, y'all babies, y'all girls, y'all whatever. Meet me at my crib at 8:00. I'm gonna have the chef come by every, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm gonna have the chef come by. Mom's gonna cook up something. We gonna come over there. We gonna bust this film down.
Yeah,
he ain't doing that.
Yeah,
it's like, I'll see y'all on Sunday. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. Now, when I do what I'm supposed to do, y'all going to eat off me because they're going to double, triple team me, so y'all going to eat. But all the other stuff, I don't want to sack. That's why he had to, when he went and had to play linebacker, he got on his podcast. He told anybody and everybody, I could just be more effective anywhere. I don't need to be at linebacker.
All right, so we're going to let him finish out, but I want to say this right quick. I always like to put cover over things, and now people understand the reason why. Because without context, you'll be lost. You'll be lost. Yesterday, we did a podcast, and we were talking about the usage of coaching staff, right? And the Cowboys paid the lowest amongst all 32 teams on their coaching staff. And you get with what you pay for. When you're cheap, you're going to get with what you pay for. I'm going to let that soak in and seep into the mindset and the crevices of your thoughts when y'all catch up. You pay for what you get. Now, listen to Jesse state multiple times Fred Warner, on how he played his said position, right? Here's the 1,000 truths, and this is not up for debate, and Jesse is a great, great person, right? And Jesse is spitting the truth on that aspect on how Fred Warner prepare himself and be ready for the game. But what nobody is willing to say is that you pay for what you get. DeMeco Ryans, when Fred Warner was drafted by the 49ers, they had DeMeco Ryans, who is a dog as a coach, who was a dog linebacker as a actual player in this particular sport. When you start to think about the Dallas Cowboys and who are they using, we are using as a linebacker coach Darian Thompson and Scott McCurley. Those two things can't even be relatable. DeMeco Ryans is now a head coach for the Texans. Excuse me, I'm waiting when Scott McCurley and Dorian or whoever Thompson will be of that kind of caliber, and you pay for what you get. So, of course, the transitions, and of course we had George Edwards here, who was a dog, a real good dog as a coach. But what I'm saying is basically, you're going to pay for what you get. And you're going to have the shortcomings from a coaching aspect when you're not really having the kind of caliber of knowledge bestowed upon the players that's on the team. And those are one of my issues with the front office. And y'all can go back and forth and talk about X, Y, and Z things. But the reality of it is that we didn't value that spot nor position. Durday, even though he is getting offers now as a defensive line coach, he was pretty much an intern. He was learning on the job, learning on the fly to be a defensive line coach. And he's doing a decent job here. Yes, Lance Bell, I would pay all types of money. We can start a doggone what you call that, a GoFundMe account. If the Jones family are not willing to pay Sean Lee, let Sean Lee be a linebackers coach. Let him help this team out in that particular aspect of it, opposed to a Darian Thompson or Dorian. I forgot his name. Y'all help me out. And Scott McCurley. So there's two sides to everything to this situation. Now, other teams, now shout out to the 49ers. I don't know who's their linebacker coach is now, but most of Fred Warner, he tribute and he credit all of his learnings to DeMeco Ryans, him and Greenlaw and Shazier, or for what? GoFundMe petition, get the signatures. Yes, go. Let's go, man. Hey, man, if the Jones family don't want to play Sean Lee, let us pay Sean Lee. And we want him as our defensive linebacker coach. Come on, baby. But let's listen to the rest of this, man. You know.
Back when he got upset earlier in the season, why? They had him doing these tackle stunts, and he was the guy that he was stunting to get the other guy open. Oh, he ain't like that. No. I'm not getting him open. Stunt to get me open. That's the biggest thing. And I'll say the last thing is.
Hey, Roy, wait a minute, Roy. Hold on, Roy. Wait a minute, that's what I just said. He said, Law, you were wrong. Law, Aiden Durday is the reason why we can't stop the run. That's what I'm saying. Aiden Durday was an intern. Aiden Durday, he got his first, time with the Cowboys originally with Jason Garrett. Then he moved to the Atlanta Falcons. I think he bounced to another team. And then he came back here in 2021, something like that. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And here's what I'm going to say with Durday. I'm not saying that Dirty is trash. I'm not saying that he can't coach, but he don't have the levels of experiences. Ooh, I'm just talking too much. I guess I'm talking too much. I don't want the Dirty mom and people, man, to come hit me too, man. Come on, man. I can't win for losing. See, let me put cover over everything. Man, Dirty is a real good coach, man. Hey, he's a Hall of Fame coach in his future. I see nothing but blessings coming his way. If that's the type of content y'all want me to say, you know, come on, baby. Ray Lewis would be nice, but Ray Lewis' paycheck may be too much for us, right? Oh my goodness! Come on, let's go. Let's listen to the rest of this. We only got about 2 more minutes.
And you hit on it. It's a culture that is built in Dallas, right? The Hollywood culture.
Yeah.
And that's never going to change. I don't care what coach you bring in. You can bring in Bill Belichick. Don't matter. It doesn't matter, because Jerry Jones established that we are the biggest brand in the world.
It's a gift and curse, you know. If you Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the gift is you got the biggest brand. You're going to keep making money. It's going to be like the Hollywood of football or of sports, but it also affects the players, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been saying it for years, man. As soon as you put on the Cowboys jersey, as soon as you get drafted, you automatically at the highest level, you know what I'm saying? And with anything, once you get into that spot, like with anything, it's going to automatically affect your mental and the way you look at it and all that. And I think that comes down to some of the issues that we have.
Do you think that there needs to be more of a discipline with this team, especially moving forward?
Who's going to discipline Micah? The culture of today's football
Right.
is a selfish culture. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? But it's a selfish culture.
Yeah.
And when you're here in Dallas, what you end up happening is you got 53 brands.
Yeah.
You got 53 brands. That is the gift and the curse, is that I got 53 brands. Micah has a widely popular podcast. And I'm not saying, do your podcast.
Yeah, do it.
I'm not saying, listen, my brother, I ain't going to never tell you not to make your bread. Make your bread, do what you do. But there's 53 brands.
Yeah.
And when you got 53 brands, you got 53 dudes that you got to try to rein in.
Yeah.
To be unselfish. And really to see the greater goal outside of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's difficult when everybody's telling me I'm the greatest. Everybody's comparing me to LT.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that I'm the nicest thing since sliced bread.
There's nothing to humble you.
So now, and again, like I said, who is his OG?
All right, so he asked an open-ended question there. Who is the OG? And at that point, and at this time, you will have to say, DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the veteran leader of this team. He's been here the longest as far as on the defensive side of the coin. Or if not, it's Parsons himself, as that's what he's implying. And granted, Parsons is the number one production leader on this team as far as what he's able to do. Teams spend all night trying to figure out a way to stop Parsons. They do. And we can say one thing, but the reality of it is Parsons is a beast. He's a monster. You can line him up pretty much anywhere and everywhere on this field, right? We are so starving for a championship that every year we don't win it, we got to start breaking down players to the micro levels. And I get all of that. But at the end of the day, if y'all want to blame anybody, blame Law, man. Don't get out here and blame Parsons. And let's not look at it from that aspect. Even though Jesse, from his strong opinions here, he may be right on a few points. He may be completely wrong on a few points. At the end of the day, we collectively want this team to win. There's no lies about that. I hope that people understand that we're looking for solutions. My solution would be this right here. Continue to move Parsons everywhere on the field. That's been my thought since day one. And go out there and draft a real linebacker. Not saying that Parsons is not one. But for damn sure, my guy, Damone Clark, and the Clark family, don't come after me when I say this. I just don't see him as a Mike linebacker. I look at him as a weak side. and for my guy Marquise Bell, if we're going to utilize and use Marquise Bell at linebacker, and we've seen that is possible, look at what the 49ers were able to do with Fred Warner, who was drafted to be a safety who wore number 40-something, switches number to 54 once he got acclimated to linebacker. If you want to do that, then bring in somebody that know how to do that outside of Dan Quinn. Bring in somebody that know how to handle that can put tangible things together. That's what we've been saying. So two things can be what? Right. Two things can be right. But we can't have the levels of expectations of someone, for one, who never played linebacker, who was an actual safety here, DT, Darian Thompson, to pour upon knowledge and wisdom and understanding that he may not have. He could be a Hall of Fame coach. I don't know. I'm not finna put limitations on him. But 9 times out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, these are the facts. So we're looking for solutions. I ain't finna be crying about all of this, man, all off season. We gonna have to talk about this and get it out the way, because now we got mom and them's out here. We got moms talking, right? So we're gonna have to make sure we patch up all of this stuff. Here's what Terrence Parsons Jr. says: when my mom gotta come out and say something, that's how you know y'all dead wrong. Couldn't have said it better myself. And it's a long soliloquy. And this is Sharice Parsons. She said, Law Nation Sports, this take is funny how someone can assume something is about someone that never talked with, right? They never talked with. Micah Parsons wanted to play DE and linebacker. How often has he said that he wanted to be the chess piece, right? He doesn't know we have the D-line over for dinner. And she the chef. She can cook, man. Oh, my goodness, man. She cooks some mac and cheese. Man, make you just want to slap somebody. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to slap her, but she cooks some food so good. You get some on your thumb, you probably around bite your thumb off. You have 4 fingers. She can cook. Now, Mama Parsons can cook. And she goes on with the wonderful soliloquy here, and she breaks things down, and you can see the full comment on. Let me just share this right quick, because it's too tiny for me to read it. And that's alone, my hooked on funny guys not working that well today, man. So y'all click on that link right there, and you can go there to read the full context of it. And also is originally on my Facebook page under that very much so same video. And I talked to her too, and she responded with thank you or what have you. And I really appreciate all what she do for the Cowboys and what the family members, et cetera. And I did throw this out there. And I said that outside of what Jesse Holly is saying, this is my thoughts. I'm looking at Dan Quinn utilizing Parsons the wrong way, and his stubbornness is making it appears that the blame need to only be on Parsons. We need to have accountability here. I get it. If you get gashed by not being able to stop the run week 3, dog it. These coaches getting paid millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, depending on how their salary structure is structured according to Jerry Jones' payment. But they should be able to figure things out on stopping his run. All of this stuff, week 3, is that before or after the trade deadline? Let me know. Help a brother out. HBO me. Was that before or after? Yeah, that was before the trade deadline. They knew they had issues on stopping the run then. So be proactive, not retro. We had enough immunizations. We had enough things that we can move around and shift around to get somebody to help stop the bleeding. But no, they thought things were going to happen to osmosis. They thought things were going to fix itself. Don't worry about it. Put a Band-Aid on it. No, you got shot, man. You got to extract the bullet. There you go. Lance Bell says way before. So we can hope things that can happen, and we can pray things and see if that can pray it away. But in actuality, the universe, the multiverse don't work that way. It's faith without what? Without works is dead. You're going to have to put some work in. You just can't sit there and say, hey, man, I pray that this defense can figure out ways to stop the run. No, it don't work that way. It don't. Deidre Miller says, Law, we appreciate you and your insights. Yes, indeed. I thank you so much for your support. I thank you so much for your support. And let me see what Stargazer said earlier, because she sent a super chat in and I didn't get a chance to read hers out. But y'all bear with me while I build the plane while we fly, you know. But the reality of it, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we all want what's best for this organization. We do. And we want understanding. We do. We want understanding. We ain't sitting around here for to just be looking at the camera. No, we want understanding. Stargazer says, Law, now Micah Parsons' brother is saying that Micah wants to play edge. Let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all bear with me. And shout out to you, Auntie. Auntie Roland Review says, Jesse Hollis spoke.
Deidre Miller, $20. Lowell, we appreciate you and your insight.
I appreciate it. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you. She says here, Roland, Auntie says, Jesse Hollis spoke mean nothing but the truth. I feel you. I feel you on your thought track there too. Law, this Stargazer Sports, she says, Law, now Micah Parsons' brother is saying that Micah wants to play edge because he wants to be the highest paid. He would play linebacker if the front office paid him as such. That's what she's saying. So if it's money, look, I'm not finna get in the way of a person on how they make their bread. One thing I'm going to always say, go get your coins, go get your bag, because this football is a real thing. They can talk about, hey, it's rigged, these sorts of things, but everybody that lace them up and line them up, get out there on the field, everybody's a Ron Shazier hit away. Everybody. You could be laid out like Family Guy. And they will cry, they will moan for you for a couple of weeks, maybe a year if you're really good. But 3 years from now, they forget all about you. They'll forget all about you. Samson says, sometimes things have to go to hell to get better. Let's all hang out and then move forward. As for CD Mom, she probably was full of wine that day. You know, she was saying what's on her heart. She said what she said, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. She said what she said watching everybody bash her son. And the score was 27-7. What's she supposed to say? Man, Dak is king? You know what I'm saying? Nah, she spoke. Look, man, people fail to realize, man. People fail to realize, you know, you'll fight for your brother, you'll fight for your sister. Your daddy will stand in the way for you, but a mom will go to the edge of the earth for her son. So when a mom speaks, I'm sitting back like this. I got nothing else to say. A mom, look, man, y'all don't know. A mother will go to the edge of the earth. She will give her child away to a perfect stranger to save her child. There was a story that they went to this king, and one lady took the child away from the real mother. And the king was like, hey, well, I tell you what, let's slice the child in half. And the mom know that lady was lying. Paraphrasing, I don't have the scriptures right in front of me. She said, well, no, I want to save my son. That's my son. No, that's not mine. You can have him. Because she wanted to save the life of a child. So when Mama Parsons spoke, all we can do is, King Saul, appreciate y'all. Man, all I can do is just sit back. When CD Mom and them spoke, shoot, because I know when my mom, let my mama get up on here, May she rest in peace. Y'all know, man, I don't like my mom. I love my mom. Shoot, let us say one thing. Shoot, this show wouldn't even been possible without my mom. No, man, the mamas. Brian Jones said, even mamas be wrong sometimes. Yeah, but shoot, in their eyes, they right, shoot. You better leave mom and them alone. Yeah, that's your daddy right there. Mama wrong as all get out, but you know that daddy right there gonna take good care of you. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah. You better leave the mamas alone. Yeah, that's your daddy right there. Look at the screen. Look at y'all got the same forehead and beard, everything. Yeah. Y'all better leave the mamas alone, man. Mama trying to look out. She know who the real daddy is. I'm just I made somebody laugh. That's all I needed. I made somebody laugh. Somebody laughing right now so hard they had to stop their car and pull over. He said, man, that dude ain't lying right there. You know, that's what they said right now.
He ain't lying.
They be all on the screen. That's it. Look at his nose. Look how he blink. Mark be sitting there, already got the results. We sitting there like, nah, that ain't even close to his. You know what I'm saying? We understand that if Dak become a Commander, it's pretty a good chance they are in the playoff team immediately. This is from Al Burtz. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Dak ain't going nowhere, y'all. Yeah. You know, Dak ain't going nowhere, and people not gonna boycott this team. People say, hey, man, I'm going to boycott this team. I want to hit them where it hurts. Man, they already got their checks, man. When Amazon wrote that check for $111 billion, they could say, hey, we got a product that's recession-proof. The pandemic proved that. There was nobody in the stands, and they still made profit. You know, everybody else losing money. They had to put teams in bubbles and stuff, and they were losing money. The football, shoot, they making money, baby. Shoot, look, you thinking that you're not going to buy a cup, a hat, a jacket, they're going to hurt the Cowboys? Come on, man.
Albert's $10. We have to understand that if Dak becomes a Commander, it's a pretty good chance they're a playoff team immediately.
Yeah, shoot. Dak on the Commanders will make us mad, man. Can you imagine the Commanders being 12-5? Shoot. Yeah, Lance Bell, revenue. People got to understand revenue sharing. Revenue sharing made it recession-proof. You know? Shoot. The Saints right now, they looking terrible. They still getting that check. Them owners still getting it. Like if I ever get billions of dollars, I'm trying to buy an NFL team if they vote me in. And then you got to get voted in. I just can't buy it. If I hit let's say I hit $10 billion and I'm trying to buy a football team, I still don't have enough money. I still wouldn't have enough money. I got to get voted in and everything. They say, man, they check my family history and stuff like that. They're like, nah, man, he can't get in, dog. Nah, let him in. You know, we give you a piece of it, but we ain't gonna let you get in like that. No. That is the best business model to be in. Now, let me tell y'all who y'all gonna hurt when y'all thinking, and I got to break this down for the people that don't understand how this works. If you boycott and you stop buying merchandise, didn't you guys know that when you go to those pro shops, those stores are individually owned and operated? That person got to buy in to sell NFL merchandise. They have to pay for that franchise fee in order to sell this. So the revenue money that they make, the NFL and the Cowboys are already made. So when you saying that you're going to stop buying from that store, all you doing is putting that person who put his or her hard-earned money up to buy in to sell this merchandise, this Cowboy merchandise, this seat and stuff that I'm sitting in. So all you're going to do is put them out of business, and it will be somebody else that say, hey, I'm going to buy in to sell NFL merchandise. You got to buy the license in order to sell. Jerry Jones is not sitting out there saying that I'm going to purchase this. That's recession-proof, man. They already 10 to 15 years ahead. Don't y'all think that they already thought, these multi-billionaires, that they done already thought about what we can do to fight against boycotting? What we can do to fight against players saying that they're going to not all lace up and suit up? They went through that all through the 70s and the 80s. Come on, man. Look, I'm just trying to teach y'all a few people how the economy works, man, with those billionaires. Oh, man, I want to stop buying merch. I want to stop watching. All of that money is already up front. A bookie makes sure that he makes money regardless of the outcome. Whether you win or lose, they making money, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Come on, man. They done already got maps and stuff. The government pays for a third of the stadium so that they can host things there. It's not coming out of Jerry Jones' pockets. Yeah, it's capitalism at its all-time high. I see you, Rev. Jerry Lav gonna say we're not gonna buy $30 hats, $100 jerseys. Yeah. Whatever billionaire's gonna do. Yeah. Yeah, AJ. Yeah, they laughing. Like them dudes say that they're not gonna look. Everybody, I kid you not. We went out there to Oxnard. Everybody was angry and upset that the VIP section was $250 per person for one day, when it used to be $240 or $400 for the full lifetime that you're there. Ain't nobody gonna pay that $250. And then I looked around, the place sold out. Somebody done bought all of those $250. You know, people say, hey, man, I ain't going to another Cowboys game. And, Law, you a part of it. You the reason why. Somebody said I'm the reason why the Cowboys are not being successful. Like, dude, I can't control that. I can't control what the Cowboys do and don't do on the field. I don't have no outcome of the situation that way. But when you're looking for solutions, man, and you're looking for answers and truth, you guys can come here, but we can throw those things out there. Yeah, Revenge says sheep mentality. Yeah. Put Law at QB 187. Nah. Don't put me on the opposing team QB. We'll definitely beat the Packers then. Put Law in instead of Love. What Law doing? What that dude Law doing? Safety. I give the Cowboys at least 2 points. Law for head coach. If I was the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, the first move that I would make would be to bring in a better head coach for the Cowboys. That would be my first move. Yeah, yes, indeed. That would be my first move. Green Bay, owned by the city of Green Bay. That's what I'm talking about. Put that in this budget. Yeah. But the way the Green Bay structured that was way before all of this crazy good money occurred. And the buy-in for the city to be all on one accord, truth be told, the individual cities of Texas are not all on one accord. Fort Worth don't really mess with Dallas like that, so and Dallas don't really mess with Fort Worth. Arlington don't really mess, all of these cities may say they're united, but they fighting each other for themselves, So it is what it is. Law is a consultant. Yes, indeed, I'll be a great consultant. I'll figure out how hey, let Jimmy Johnson call these few plays, Mike. Let Jimmy speak to these players at halftime. Let me put Eric Thomas in to give a halftime speech. Let me put some fire in there. I would do that aspect of ownership if I was there. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. I have all my players on Keegan water and everything else. Electrolytes be high as all get out. They be having watermelon juice and everything. So it'll be different. It'll be different. It'll be different type of situations. Yeah. We'll do something, man. It is 5:31. It's 5:31. We will open up the phone lines to get y'all thoughts and your opinions of everything. Like I said, man, we're looking for solutions. We're solution providers, man. I sure hate that people took Jesse's word and not look at it from both sides of it. There are some talking points that he was right with. There are some talking points that he was wrong with. If you want to say that he was wrong completely, you can agree with that. If you want to say he was right completely, you can agree with that. But remember these small things, man. Those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, right? So when somebody have their mind set to think a certain thing, they are always going to think those things. Speaking of that, let me just read this off. Shout out to Todd Archer. Green Bay, Los Angeles Rams, Atlanta have sought permission to speak to Cowboys defensive line coach Aiden Durde. Per multiple sources, he has been on the team since 2021. He has spent 5 years with Dan Quinn in Atlanta, where he has also worked with the new coach, Raheem Morris. Are y'all a fan of Durde? Let me know and put AD in the chat if you want him to stay. But if you want him to go, just put go, Durde, go. The other news was the new age is here for the Cowboys to invest at running back. They expected to adopt the most cost-conservative approach, which is likely means selecting at least one running back in this April's draft. So what Michael Gehlken is saying basically, don't look for the Cowboys. Don't look for them to dance around in free agency. They go to try to figure out a way to draft a running back. Now here's my thoughts of it all. We're going to have to wait and see how this all looks. I'm old enough to remember a lot of people took a dump on Jahmyr Gibbs and said that he's nothing more than a split back, that he can't do X, Y, and Z things. Well, they playing this weekend. And Jahmyr Gibbs is a nice added piece to what the Lions did this season. So there could be another Jahmyr Gibbs out there for the Cowboys to draft in the first, second, or third, and maybe he can be something. A-Chain had an unbelievable year, in my opinion. Keaton Mitchell, he was a later round draft pick, had a good year, even though he got hurt for, I believe he played for the Ravens. So, yeah, you can always draft a running back. You just never know what that running back can be when you draft him. I'm with the belief is you go shake the tree, see what's out there in free agency, and you scoop up a King Henry. I would love to see him in a Cowboys uniform. Just don't give him 22, right? You just don't give him number 22, right? I'm just messing with y'all. But the Cowboys can do a lot of things in that particular fashion. With just making sure that they leave no stone unturned with these free agencies. I'm not with the belief to not bring back Tony Pollard. I'm just not bringing back Tony Pollard anything north of $5 or $6 million. If you want that much money, then we'll say, nah, dog, we'll put you on a smaller contract and see if you can prove it again. And the Pollard family, don't come after me, man. Don't try to beat me up. Yeah. Don't y'all beat me up. Trey Benson would be nice. Jonathan Brooks would be nice. Yeah, Patrick Queen or Devin White. Give me Queen over White right now. You know, I think Queen been playing a little bit better than White. We got JV Boy says William Bernay. Dak is guaranteed $60 million. You're willing to bench him for an unproven quarterback who's injured. Yeah, William, that's not a good look, man. I get it. Here's the 1,000 truth, even with Dak Prescott. Just wait, y'all. You're going to have to wait this out. The only reason why his contract is looking such is because the Cowboys allowed that contract to be. They allowed that contract to be. He got no trade clause on his contract, meaning you got to finish the life of that contract. Nobody's sitting out here saying, okay, let's eat the $60 million and let's bring forth Cooper Rush and let's see if Trey Lance can be healthy. That's I'm not calling anybody a fool of thinking that way. But man, that's dangerous living right there, bro. That's crazy. Just let him play it out. Don't extend him. Let's see how that works. But the only thing is, if you don't extend Dak Prescott, what that price is going to do. Is it going to go up or down? Do you think that when we look at the thing collectively speaking, that his stats and accolades, even though he wet the bed in the playoff or the team collectively wet the bed, do you think that price tag is going down? No. It's just like any other thing in real estate. On land and everything. It's going up, baby. It's just what it is. Fortunately, on how the contract is. The Cowboys were bitten by a Dak Prescott contract because they ultimately didn't trust him on the front end. If you trust him on the front end, you could have had him locked in at $25 million. But by them Cowboys sitting on their hands and saying, no, they don't trust it. They don't trust it, right? And then Carson Wentz got his money. Goff got his money. That drove the price up. Don't y'all know who originally drove the price up to this crazy number that it is now? A dude that didn't even give us no football in the last 2 seasons. His name is Deshaun Watson. He drove the price up. Everybody else like, dang, man, Watson got that contract, that crazy bag. And everybody else contract, it was given. That the Pat Mahomes contract was nice the way it was, but it was an 8 to 10 year contract. But what the Cleveland Browns did, they destroyed the market. Then who came after Deshaun and them? And Deshaun Watson's, man, the Watson family, don't come after me. You know, I know he was getting them rub downs on those massages, right? But after that, Kyler Murray, when he got paid, everybody like, all right, cool. And Kirk Cousins, that contract was negotiated with the idea that he played all his money just guaranteed. Shout out to Kirk Cousins on how he worked that contract out. And he plays on the hearts and the minds, and he had them by the short hairs. Who else was going to play for Minnesota? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So those are the realities. And Herb got paid $250,000. Who's up to getting paid now? Well, it's back around to Dak Prescott time now, right? Yeah. I don't know who need to get paid now. I think it's Dak Prescott. He's going to probably reset the market. Is it rightfully so? That's argumentative. Yeah. Yeah. Ron Mitchell said Deshaun's contract had Lamar holding out. Yeah. For that $200 million. Yeah.
You are the only participant in the conference.
Mic check.
All participants are muted.
Yeah. Phone lines are brought to you by Prize Picks. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. 657-390-7391 is the hotline for you.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Okay, so Fields, not Justin Love, but Jordan Love, those are the contracts that's up by now. Yeah. So that's what we have. All right, so we got 815. Brandon, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
You can hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you good, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, that was a good little interview you did with Jackson Hollis.
Yeah.
I know people don't like when you give high takes like that, but I'm not saying that I agree with him saying Micah Parsons is being selfish, but I agree with a lot of things. Like, to me, it's undeniable. Like, before I get to Dak, like, hey, Micah Parsons has been on this team the last 3 years. We got 3 years of evidence. He gives you 12 games, and then the latter part of the season, he fades. Micah Parsons is a great player. Nobody going to deny that. But the truth is the truth, and I know people don't like to hear that, especially on here. We don't like to hear the truth. I mean, it was the truth. Dak would not reset the market. Please, nobody believe that lie. Dak would not reset the market. There would be no I'm gonna use laws. This law logic. So if it don't make sense, ask law. Law love to say when he in his group, he'll be like,
right.
Well, go to the open market and what the open market gonna say.
What is the market? What is the market though right now?
Look, I'm finna give y'all just a fact. Lamar Jackson held out. Lamar Jackson should have been in line for a contract bigger than $235 million. Did he get that? No.
Right.
Did Kyler Murray get that? No. Did Josh Allen get that? No. Did Joe Burrow get that? No. So we got to cut that out. That's not gonna happen. And remember, I also said, I'm going to get to this, but remember, I said, we should ask Dak Prescott to take $35 million. Somebody else said he should take no more than 40. But again, on the open market, okay, I'm going to ask this.
Okay.
I know a bottom dweller team will pay an average quarterback anything. Kirk Cousins just got 7 years of guaranteed contract, so that the NFL will do that. So let's not go there. And if you don't believe me, go look at his last 7 years. It's been guaranteed. Okay. On the open market, if Dak,
the Cowboys would never let him see that though. But keep going.
We being disingenuous because if that's the truth, well, why have we not signed him yet?
Why didn't we sign him earlier? On the open market right now, according to Sport Racks, depending on the last 5 contracts, and you was wrong with your assessments there. Lamar got a $260 million.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. But I'm looking at what he got. Lamar value. The Lamar Jackson value is $260. Jalen Hurts value is $255.
How much of that's guaranteed?
We just talking about the open, because what we are saying is that that's what you think Todd France don't know how to negotiate these contracts?
He absolutely do.
Who won last time? Who won the last time? Todd France or Jerry Jones?
Okay, thank you, Law. You're a smart guy. So if we know he won last time, again, I'm gonna ask you this question because I think now you got your wings, but your earth beneath your wings now. Are you signing Dak Prescott to $60 million a year? Yes or no? Because I guess now you will. So is that a yes? That's a yes for me.
Is it $60 million? Well, the market value for him will be 4-year contracts for $50 million, 50.8, and that will put him right in the wheelhouse of what Jalen Hurts got, 51. They'll put you right in the wheelhouse of what Justin Herbert got 200.
Are you giving him 51?
Am I giving him 51? That will be what his
Jerry Jones called and asked Law Nation.
That will be his value. That will be his value. I can't argue against what his value is. On the open market.
His value don't got nothing to do with what you negotiate. Are you giving him that or not?
I can't go off of assumptions, and I can only go off of the previous 4 or 5 quarterbacks of what they got. If I'm a representative,
you giving it to him? That so you giving it to him?
Yeah. Point is well spoken, because there's no way that he can accept from Todd France's perspective or preview of doing contract. There's no way that he can accept something lower than what Russell got 48. Hurts got 51. Okay. Lamar got 52. So you're going to have to still, at the end of the day, give him something in the range of that. You can't give him what old boy got, Daniel Jones got. You can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to give him 40. Go ahead.
I want everybody in here to hear what Law said. Law speaking from that. I thought we Cowboys fans, so I'm speaking.
I'm speaking from an analyst. I'm speaking from an analyst. This had nothing to do with Dak. It just had nothing to do with Dak or being a representative of Dak. This is just being an analyst from an analytical aspect of it. Now, what we want to see from a perceived value is what. Look, I got a degree hanging on the wall from economics, administration, business administrations. from D. Jackson State. I don't have to sit back and go back and forth with numbers. That's what I do for a living. But I'm just saying, Brandon, is that those are going to be the arguments that Todd France is going to sit down with. Now, we could want Dak Prescott to only receive $40 to $45 million, but what Dak Prescott camp is going to say is we're going to get $60 million regardless right now. That's what y'all owe on the cap hit. So the price tag, the base is going to start at 48. That's just what it is. That's just what it is.
See, I want to make sure I'm clear.
Talk to me.
I'm not arguing what I feel like his value is. That means nothing to me. I know what the NFL is. I know it's next man up when it comes to the contract.
True.
I'm not disputing it. That's not what I'm disputing. I don't know where this conversation just went to. I'm disputing should the Dallas Cowboys, the team that we root for, should we go out and should we give Dak that contract? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about should he be asking for that? Of course, that's what he should do. He should ask for the moon and the stars. My question is, should we give it to him?
Should we give it? Should we allow to say, okay, based off of the last 4 years of you playing in the National Football and the numbers that you have, should we give you $53 million APY? Is that what you're saying? That's the base of the argument right there, or your conversational mindset?
Because Allah, I think you come because I want to add to that because I think over the last few days I think I've heard you basically say you would like to go all in on defense, right?
True.
That's what it sounds like.
True.
So if you would like to go all in on defense, we still got a salary cap. I know what you got, the TV contract coming in. We know all of that, but we still got a hard cap, not a soft cap.
Go ahead.
So again, Law, I'm going to ask this question. How we going to get that other corner you talking about? How we going to get that other linebacker?
I'm glad you glad you answered that. The only way you can get all of that, if you extend Dak, that's the only way. That's the only way. And I know you don't want to hear that. That's the only way that you can get all of that money if you extend Dak, prorate that money, spread it out, and then go in there and get all of those pieces that I just mentioned. Now, if you eat the $60 million, it's going to put you at that hard cut, and you won't be able to do that. Now, you can tank for a year and say 2025 or 2026, you will still have to recoup that money. That's why they won't do that. That's unfortunately, that is the decision that happened to the Cowboys the first time. Did you know that?
But of course.
In closing. In closing, yeah.
No. In closing, I know you agree with whether we agree on should we re-sign Dak or not. We're in crunch time because you can't franchise him.
You can't.
He have a no trade, meaning he got to approve any trade. Any trade he got to approve.
Yeah.
So we're in crunch time. You doing the same thing again.
You doing the same thing. Yeah.
In closing, my only difference is I just think we should come to the table and ask Dak to take a discount. That's all I'm saying.
No. Hold on. I think that's all that I already said that you was implying. But I'm thinking from Todd France, the answer is no.
I
appreciate you.
We don't disagree.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, bro. Yeah.
Come on, I'm bigger than tomorrow.
Yeah. No doubt. That's Brandon, man. So I'm not advocating anything for what the Cowboys did to mess this thing up. They got two solutions. Either they can extend and get all of that money in, or they can make some accelerations from Trayvon Diggs' cap. I think that Trayvon Diggs got some places on his contract that you can move money around. Whoever else that signed a big contract, I think Terrence Steele, you can extend and move that around. But when you extend, you still gotta pay up. So the other way that you can hide the money and stretch it out is in Terrence Steele contract. You can give him some money up front, spread it out a little bit, and you can still stay afloat and say, Dak, well, hey, we got ways that at least we may not can get a whole heap of guys, but we can at least pay our rookies, and we can at least re-sign maybe CeeDee Lamb. Because if you extend CeeDee Lamb, what you get You give what, $10 to $15 million there. So you can do some things like that. But then on the back end, you stretching out contracts for Terrence Steele. You stretching out contracts for Trayvon Diggs. You stretching out contracts for, dare I say, a CeeDee Lamb to get that. So those are ways that you can do that. Restructure, not extend. So you can restructure, I meant to say, for Terrence Steele as well as Trayvon Diggs. You can do that. And then utilize the money that way. But guess what? It's gonna bite. It's gonna bite you on the back end. Ain't that right? From the 585, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks in the mix. Tyreek, what's good? What's good with you, man? Talk to me.
Cool. I'm cool, man. What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Pay Dak his money, man. Why every time Dak Prescott come up to get paid, we gotta ask for a damn discount? Is y'all asking Tom Brady and all these other cats for discounts? No, you're not. They offered it. They went and they negotiated because he cool with the owner. This is a whole different situation. We already know the Jones family is kind of funny with the funds, man. They want something for nothing. Nah, this man don't put in his work, blood, sweat, and tears, get him at his money. They had a free ride a long time off of the back of Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
and it's time to pay up. When is us as Cowboy fans? When are we going to understand that we got a good quarterback? He's a good regular season quarterback. We just need the brother to get over the hump in the playoffs so we can get to the goal, get to where we want to be at, and that's the Super Bowl. But at the same time, this dude can't walk on water, man. Pay this man. Go build a real Super Bowl team. Go get some real players to put on this team. Quit just trying to do this. Our guy trying to build this team. Go to Ross is like you boss like to say to build the damn team. That's why you got people coming at people like Micah. Micah deserves, just like that, deserves a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah, and let me break this down. Let me break this down again, because a lot of people are not or were not aware of this. In 2016, Dak Prescott got paid $1 million that full year. In 2017, he got paid $941,000. In 2018, he got paid $630,000. So if the Cowboys couldn't manage the discount that they was getting then that's not on the quarterback. And excuse me, in 2019, he got paid $2.1 million for the entirety of the season. Didn't you know that Rico Gathers, when he got signed to the practice squad and made it to the team, he was making more money than your quarterback? Now, I'm not banging on the table and saying that, hey, the Cowboys did Dak Prescott wrong. I'm not saying that. He got drafted in the 4th round, and the Cowboys had all of those years, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Of cheap labor, of complete cheap labor. And in 2020, that's when he snapped his ankle, right? He got paid $30 million, $31 million to be exact, because of the franchise tag. You couldn't spread that out. You couldn't prorate that out. Excuse me, if they were to go in 2020 and gave that dude a legitimate contract, didn't you know that $30 million cap hit wouldn't even exist then? It would have only been $10 to $15 million. So you paid double time, quadruple time for Dak Prescott out of 1 year, because you didn't big trust him, right? So he paid on the franchise tag, and then for the next year, 2021, they franchise tagged him twice, but they did it in the hopes of negotiating the contract. They negotiated the contract, and that equivalent to his first big payday due to his signing bonus of $75 million. At that time, keep in mind that Goff, Wentz, all got paid their rookie first-round draft pick money, which eclipsed all of the money before Dak Prescott got paid his second time. So, of course, he's looking at Goff saying that dude got paid $18 million as a rookie. I haven't seen that money until 2020. And I'm thinking in my mind that I'm better than that dude, right? Carson Wentz got paid $22 million. all the way up until that time. And on top of that, he got paid with his money contract with the Eagles without any news of should we pay or should we not pay. So that's why Goff and Wentz didn't have to put the no trade clause on their contract. That's why they didn't have to hear all of the did they win playoff games, did they didn't win playoff games, because their front office went and paid that person early. They didn't wait and sit on their hands. So the Cowboys did the reverse hustle, right? And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott don't deserve the money or should deserve the money, but at that time, if you his agent, what you gonna say? What you gonna do? You gonna say, hey, man, I know you took the discount in 16, 17, 18, and 19, but there's a way that you can take another discount for the love of the team. Because you're making money from Sleep Number. Although Goff and them making money from Sleep Number too, but you playing for the star with the silver and blue on the side of your helmet, man. And on top of that, hey, I know you broke your ankle and it's torn it in half, but can you do the Cowboys a solid? Can you sit back and take $25 million APY? No, his client can't do that. His agent can't do that. That's why I'm trying to say that people need to stop talking about the money. But keep going, Rico. My bad, Tyreek.
Yeah, man, because we get lost. People get lost in the translation of that, man. Everybody trying to be Steven Cheap-Ass Jones.
Right.
Doing that, man. It's not about that. Because these winning teams, the reason that our team is not still in it, it was good enough to make it there, but we still not in it, is not because of no damn Dak Prescott by itself. It was a team loss. The whole damn team from the top of the organization to the water boy to the cow guy, everybody failed us that day as fans. And people not understanding what that means. That means real teams stack. Real teams keep going through even throughout the season to try to get better. What we've been doing, shopping that goddamn the secondhand store the whole damn time with this team. You know what I'm saying? And we got to cut that out, man, because what pisses me off with the Cowboy fans sometimes, some of us Cowboy fans, that we not showing some gratitude. We lucked up into Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
We lucked up into this dude. Because do you remember the quarterbacks before Romo and Dak?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember the Matt Castles, the Kyle Ortons, the Brandon
man. They don't remember that, man. They don't remember that. They don't remember Kyle Orton. They don't remember Kyle Orton, man.
We had terrible seasons.
I got somebody saying, I got somebody in the chat saying, well, hey, Goff made it to the Super Bowl. So did Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jimmy Garoppolo won more playoff games in the last 10 years than Aaron Rodgers. So Jimmy Garoppolo, based off of that theory, he should get paid more than Aaron Rodgers because he made it to the Super Bowl. Right? You see how this argument can go? If a quarterback make it to the Super Bowl, then they should get paid more. Come on, man. Look, we talking real stuff here, man. Look, I get it. Most people want to get angry and upset at one, just like they angry and upset at even Parsons, but that's not the truth nor the scenario. You got to really look into what's going on. What are the solutions? How can we handle things out, So, it's crazy, bro. But what else you got, man? What else you got?
I just got it in closing. My thing is give Dak his money. Don't they wouldn't it be an out clause on that? Like they can get rid of him in like a couple years if stuff don't work out as they sign their contract? It's something like that every year.
Yeah, he got I think I don't have his contract in front of me, but it's going off the top of my dome. He got 2 voidable years at the end of his contract. His guaranteed money is pretty much in at the end of this season. You can figure out ways to extrapolate that and then move on from there, or you can extend and get more money on your cap and do crazy things with that money. But at the end of the day, you still got to pay. At the end of the day, you got to pay.
You still got to pay. And my thing is this in closing. Why we sit here as Cowboy fans not complaining to our organization to do better, to put better players on the field so we can get somewhere. Philly, the one thing I can say about Philly is San Francisco, 2 of the teams I do not like at all. I hate them teams.
Yeah.
But I respect how they do business.
Yeah.
They stack when they want to go somewhere. They stack their damn team to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When have we ever stacked when have we ever really stacked the deck for Dak Prescott? Stack the deck, then judge him. Stack the deck on defense and that offense.
Yeah, but you know how they say, man. Well, we were a stacked team in 2021, 2022, and 2023 this past season. You know that's how they're going to say that. But I appreciate you for calling in, my dog. Thank you, man. Yes, indeed. Our stacking is different from how the 49ers stacked. 49ers stacked, dog. CMC stacked. What they did to go get him, what they did to go make sure that they solidified their defense with Hargrave this offseason, they stacked that thing for them to be where they at. Now, granted, when you look and you really think about the Detroit Lions and what they were able to do, Montgomery, he wasn't homegrown there. They went and moved and got trade acquisition for him or scooped him up from the free agency, however that went. But they made sure that they, on the back end, they got players to match their identity with CJ. He was just in the Super Bowl last year. Gardner, whatever his name is, Johnson, whatever his name is. Yeah. And they got a team that's built in with their particular coach and his philosophy. They're not going back and forth. Think about this. One man's trash is another man's treasure. L.A. said that golf is trash. Detroit said we would take him. Now, Detroit is looking at it like this from an aspect just a couple of years removed. They were saying that even what's his name, Stafford, was trash. He won the Super Bowl. So now they don't even have that type of argument because they know that what counts, coaching. Coaching matters. We saw the improvement of even Goff when he went from Fisher to McVay. But that's a whole nother conversation. Ain't that right? We're gonna let some people. We're gonna let some people in here, man. I got my guy with the plan $100,000, and then we had Dr. Q, and then we had the 520. $100,000 with the plan. You live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks from the 201.
Hey,
Talk
listen,
to me, man.
Noah Brown was elite, man. What are you talking about? Noah
he
Brown
was stacked, boy. Hey, at one point, man, my guy, Boss Cowboy, he would call it Noah Brown, Chris Carter Brown. So shout out to my guy, Boss Cowboy Sports. You remember that last year? Yeah, he did have a stretch. And then for the Texans, I think Noah Brown, he did play pretty good this year. But even though he wasn't the real focal point, because Nico, I think that he did a great job. Tank, before he got hurt, did a great job. I think the Texans did a great job of implementing Noah Brown. He didn't have a lot of stop routes. I think Bobby Slowick put him in good, favorable positions. And even Dalton Schultz was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. In a different system there. None of those stop routes, option routes, comeback routes.
Our fans just look for something to pick on.
Yeah.
Now, when Kevin Moore was here, what did they say about Mike McCarthy? What does he do?
Yeah. We don't need Micah Parsons. Not Micah Parsons, but Mike McCarthy. Yeah, we don't need him. Yeah.
Yeah. What does Mike McCarthy do? He just sit there with his hands folded. He don't need to be the coach.
Yeah.
Our same fans ain't talking about that with Nick Sirianni. That's a piece. What does Nick Sirianni do? What does he do over there? He's a cheerleader. That's what they're saying about Nick over there.
Hey, now, let me be objectively speaking, though, and don't y'all shank me with the butter knife. If the Eagles make that contract go with Vic Fangio, we're in trouble, bro. We're in trouble on the defense. We're in trouble, man. Look. I can tell y'all all day, man, about the sun and the moon and all of this stuff and be optimistic. But, man, if Vic Fangio get his hands on Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and whoever they do in the acquisition as far as those safety rooms and DBs and the cornerbacks, he will have that defense at least top 3, top 4, top 5 in the National Football League.
But here's the thing, Law.
Talk to me.
They also trying to get Kevin Moore.
They get Kellen Moore. Yeah, equalizer. Come on, Kellen Moore. Great interview, man. He's a good guy. Now, he'll equalize it out. They had good defense. But yeah. If they get Kellen Moore, man, he'll be a good equalizer, boy. That defense won't be top 5. I guarantee you that. They have so many 3 and outs. Yeah.
You go get Kevin Moore.
Go get Kellen Moore. They'll equal out everything, man. Hey, them Chargers people were making all type of videos. They're like, yeah, man, Kellen Moore gonna prove to y'all that he's the best, blah, blah, blah. Kellen Moore went over there and turned Justin Herbert into Dak Prescott for all of the people who was talking about Dak. He was looking like the poor man's Dak over there.
When I said they were trying to get Kevin Moore, I got excited, man.
If you think Hurts threw some INTs last year, shoot. I say Hurts throwing 22-20. I'll put my prize picks in real early. Prize picks, I got the wager going, man. Hurts 25 interceptions. Four curls brought to you by Jalen Hurts and come on, man. Look. Let us be real. 100 grand, man. Kellen Moore is a real good coach at it. Kellen Moore, he's great, man. Yeah. Kellen Moore
over here, man. We need to put a statue up of that man in the front of the stadium.
Yeah. Y'all better watch out, man. Oh, I hope the Eagles don't get Kellen Moore.
It's got to be trouble.
There'll be some trouble. Yes, indeed, boy.
A.J. Brown and them boys throwing fits now.
Oh, wow, man. Shoot. Goddard going to go hard. Goddard, AJ, all of those boys, y'all better watch out, man. In that triple reverse, shoot.
What?
I'm awake. Are you? He says, "Let's go, Kellen Moore. Stop hating." Yeah, man. Hey, I'm awake. Hey, we definitely don't have to worry about that run game.
No way. No.
But man, what else you got, man? I got this line longer than Shaq feet, man. What else you got, bro?
I just, you can't blame everything on the quarterback, man. Like I say, how you expect that? Okay, check this out now. Dak Prescott,
right,
is 2016 Romo.
Okay,
think about it. No running game.
Okay,
we didn't get the running game until we drafted Zeke.
Okay.
So if you get a running game with Dak Prescott, he's going to take off.
I
agree. The same way Tony Romo was. What we said about 2015, no running game, but Tony Romo can make every pass, do everything, but he ain't had no running game. Same with Dak. Dak is just like Tony. Dak can move and change players and do all that. But what are you going to do when they drop 8 and drop 9? Drop 8 and drop 9, and we got a running game.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I think that we kind of had a mishap there. Blasco, he had family issues for the first 5 games, and he didn't get a chance to be anywhere near the preseason because of the family situation. We know how that goes. And then you had Mike Solari. So these sound like excuses, but these are well context. And then you had a running back, first time ever being a bell cow. And they used that brother as a bell cow. Like, dude, use him as a split back, But
even said, this is different.
It's different. Yeah. So the Cowboys, all I want them to do, man, is figure out a way to give us a situation whereas we can have a legitimate run game with this offense if they're going to keep everything the same, and then also figure out a way for us to get a legitimate linebacker. If Parsons, the whole conversational piece with Parsons, fam, is I don't care where they place him at, Just find a way. Just find a way to get somebody else in there, man. Parsons. We know what he gonna give you. We know that we gonna get. Why argue about that part of it? We know that he's gonna give you 14 sacks a season. We know that he's gonna give you about 100 pressures, and we know he's gonna tackle you about 80 to 90 times a year. So all the Cowboys need to do is just leave him to wherever he need to be at, and go find another legitimate guy to pair up. We the only ones. We the only ones that just need one person to win the game for us. No, let's have multiple people to win us the game.
Or if you're going to move Parsons around, I agree with moving them around.
Yeah.
Move them around. But get other pieces. You want to follow Michael Parsons? We got this dude that's going to tear you behind. Like, that's what we need. We need somebody else or two people that's going to say, okay, Michael Parsons got 3 people on him. It's time for me to eat.
Time for me to eat. That's all we need to do, man. That's all we need to do. I appreciate you calling in $100,000 with the plan.
No doubt, man. I'm celebrating my B-Day. It's tomorrow, man.
Oh, man, your birthday tomorrow, man? Sure, happy birthday to you, man. Mine's February the 2nd, man. And, I got me eyes on the steakhouse,
Aquarius,
Aquarius, man. That's right, come on with it, man. All right, bro, I got your number. I'll hit you up, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, all day, man. That's why we think alike, man. Salute, man. You can call from them. Shout out to all of the Aquariuses, man, in the house, man. We got Dr. Q from the 210, you in, and then we have the 520, you next, so hold tight. 210, you in. Dr. Q, talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, brother? You and $100,000 had me rolling, man. I was sitting there rolling. Hey, but I want to just touch on a couple things. You mentioned, I guess somebody in the chat said golf took the Rams to Super Bowl, but I don't think they understand the Rams had a damn good defense. They had a
running game. Ooh! Keep cooking. Keep cooking. Keep cooking.
Exactly. So I'm like, to sit up here and say that, he or she needs to go back and watch that film. Because they rushed for like over 200, almost 300 yards on it that day. So, to sit there and say that. But
and before you jump on that point too, how many years Aaron Donald been in the league at that time?
I don't know exactly, but I know he's been in over 5. I know that.
Yeah. At that time, he was in the league for over 5 or 6 years, and he's one of the greatest players that we've seen in these last 20 years on defense, right?
Yeah,
and he could
exactly.
Oh my goodness, man! Could Aaron Donald do it by himself?
Oh no.
So what Cowboys front office need to know that even as good as Aaron Donald, he couldn't do it by himself. So that means Micah Parsons. Guess what? Will he be able to do it by himself? No, he gonna need help. You're gonna have to put pieces around even Aaron Donald. So you got to put pieces around Micah Parsons. That's all we were. All. That collectively, we all saying the same thing. Come on, man.
Yep.
Shoot.
Exactly, bro. You're right. And another thing I want to hit on is this guy was talking. Man, he's still talking about Dak. Man, God, dog, let it go, man. The guy like 3 calls ago talking about Dak and his money. Stay out of the man's pocket. Number 1. Number 2. I think he's not going to. First of all, I think Dak. I may be wrong on this, but I think Dak finished in the top 3 or 4 this season. As far as stats, right? I think that's about right. About 3 or 4. Come on, man. The dude is not going to sign for no more. I mean, he's not going to sign for no less than 50. So let it go. I agree if they do sign him, try to get him if you can get him another 4 years or whatever, 3 or 4 years. But he's not going to sign for no less than 50. That's almost again because the dollar value is going up.
Yeah,
the dollar value is going to fall for QBs. So. This guy's talking, should you take a pay cut? No, that's not going to happen, so forget it. And Dallas is sure not going to release him and let him walk off with $60 million. That just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But I want to kind of get off of that real quick. So, for me, man, I'm looking at 2 players because somebody in the chat said Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins, and they went on with Henry and all of this, right? But to me, logically, you're not going to be able to get Chris Jones and Christian Wilkins. I like Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins, man. Look, the dude is younger. So if the Joneses do make a move, I will go after him before Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is like 31, 32, so he's a little longer than 2. Still great player. But this kid, Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins, man, the boy can just flat out. The boy's a beast, man. So if they go ahead and spend that money to get him. I think that's gonna help out that front 7. That's gonna help out that front 7 a little bit. But like I mentioned to you last week, man, I missed the days where Jerry Jones was spending the money to get players that the fans was really wanting. Jerry was taking his chance. They're taking his chance to look at these players.
Right.
Now when Steven now is doing all that, like I mentioned the other day. And again, I'm not trying to be a racist, man, but I believe that you have these media guys that are in that circle. They're in that circle with Stephen Jones, and when they start talking about player X, player Y, I always go back to Clowney and Raekwon.
No.
When they're talking about these players that can make a difference, you got these media guys in Steven's ear saying, "Oh, you know what? I don't know if this player XYZ would be good for the team." And so that's just my belief. I kind of think it takes away from what this team can do and what they can be. But if they don't get, like I said, if they don't get it together this year, man, on this defense law, I promise you, man, we're gonna be sitting here talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
They got to and must get these defense fixed. But you got to spend the cheddar, man. You got to spend that money.
You got to. So you can't can't use them donut tires, man. Yeah. On long distance trips. Appreciate you, Dr. Q. Appreciate you, man.
Okay, brother. Take care, man.
Good call from him. All right, so here's the overall thought track of it all, and I appreciate all of you guys that's watching, man. I know it's Friday. I know you guys ready to go into the streets and have a great time, but if you guys could do me a huge favor, hit the like button and share this content, and if you're listening in to the whole Parsons thing, just rewind all the way to the beginning. That's when we talked about the Parsons thing. I think that me, Okoye, and a whole bunch of people, we think the world of Parsons. I'm looking at it from that aspect of it. A lot of people gave Okoye unnecessary hate on his piece of Parsons, but Okoye, at the end of the day, he wants what's best for the team, and he's seeing it from his perspective, too, of what the team should do with Parsons. Shout out to my guy, Foots the King, Vach, Skywalker, Boss Cowboys Sports, the OC, and Big Game James, and as well as Jesse. Overall, man, we just want what's best for the team, and sometimes it can come off a little obscured from a situational aspect of it, but in general, I think that we all want what's best for the team at the end of the day. And even if y'all disagree with what even Brandon Ross said about Dak Prescott and his contract and things like that, I think that even from a different perspective, he wants what's best for this team. So he's looking at it like, hey, let's fall on the sword. And this is his thoughts, right? Let's fall on the sword for the 2024. Let's not extend. And let's figure out ways we can move money elsewhere, take the big hit, and let's just find another quarterback. There's a lot of people that believe that way and see it that way, right? Let's just go get another person. I think that at some point, a lot of people looked at it like that, even with Jeff Heath, right? Anybody but Jeff Heath, right? We looked at it like that. Even Jason Garrett. Anybody but Jason Garrett. I remember banging on the table, let's bring in any coach but Jason Garrett, right? So people are going back to that pathway, you know. But I got the 5-2-0. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to us.
Hey, what's up, Law?
Hey, man, all is well. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Awesome, man. Listening to your stuff, but my point that I kind of want to come in and make here is that the biggest thing with me is that I see that it's culture. It's a culture thing with this team. Because you saw when Jimmy Johnson came in the late 80s or whatever it was. I'm pretty young, so I don't know far back then.
89 and stuff. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. What did Troy Aikman do with the team then when we didn't have that culture?
Oh, he was like 1-15 or something like that first year. We didn't have that.
Losing, right?
Yeah, we were losing bad, bro. You had to get a running back.
Yeah,
we needed a running back.
We had one of the greatest quarterbacks in Cowboys history. But once that culture change, what happened then? 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And then when Jimmy Johnson left, what happened when the culture changed again to no culture?
Yeah.
We go to the wild card twice, lose. We go to the division once and lose.
Whew.
So we can't just expect because we have a good quarterback play that we're going to make it far in the playoffs without a damn culture.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have. You got to establish that. Yeah.
He's not allowed to change anything. He's not allowed to establish his own culture. He's not allowed to put his hands all over the team how he wants to. Because guess who has his hands all over the team? Jerry Jones.
Jerry do. Yeah.
Stephen Jones. He has his hands all up in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
And like with these other quarterbacks that are winning Super Bowls in this league, what are they doing? They have that culture. They have Andy Reid. They have Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. They have those cultures and that leadership that allow them to get to that next level. They have the defenses created on those teams. They have the running games created on those teams. They have a whole culture around those teams that also get them over that hump.
How old are you? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 28, so
28.
The last time the Cowboys actually won a Super Bowl was when I was born, basically.
Yeah. So, but do you remember those Ravens teams, or that was like a little bit too early for you?
I kind of do, but I didn't get more into football until I was like more in high school and college. But I understand the Ravens. They have that culture. They have that defense culture.
Right.
Ray Lewis, all them boys. They
have
that culture that they brought with them to every game.
When you start speaking of like that, you like Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Suggs, right? You think of front, they had a clear identity of what they wanted from a running back. They also had the identity that they wanted from their front. You had Saragusa, Sam Adams, but when those guys went on their ways, they went and doubled back and got a Haloti Nada. You know what I'm saying? So they built that team that way so that they can be matching up with their identity, right? And the Cowboys, to me, they started something like that a little bit with Bill Parcells, but as soon as that coach leaves, a piece of that culture dies away, right? From the philosophy on how you build a team. And he was building a defense to the point whereas even when Bill Parcells left, a piece of his identity stayed on his team. The Tony Romos, the DeMarcus Wares, what's the other smooth, Jason Wittens of the world. Jason Garrett benefited from Bill Parcells' pedigrees of his culture that he established, right? So post Bill Parcells entering in Wade Phillips and entering in Jason Garrett, we don't have lingering guys that we can lean on outside of Dez Bryant at that time. But, outside of that, nobody kind of stayed with that identity of being a hard-nosed type of guy that's out there on the field, unfortunately. So culture plays a major role. Yeah.
And that was another point I was going to make. We got a piece of that culture back when Parcells came in.
Yeah.
But he still butted head with Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
and when he
left,
we lost that culture again.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing I've been saying over these last few years is like, what's our identity? Like, what's the thing what is us? What are we? And we just don't have that culture or identity anywhere on this team.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a different type of vibe this offseason. I'm thinking that the awareness that we are able to call a ripple effect, and I'm quite sure that things are going to be moved around differently this offseason because we had a great regular season, right? And I think that, a lot of people are going to look back at it and say, if we had a great regular season, meaning that we had a great offseason. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now anything that we showcase and produce now, people are going to say, hey, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I got to wait to see what they're going to do in the postseason. And I don't want that to tarnish the mindset of this team to think that they're not moving in the right way because the microaggressions of everybody thinking that this team is going to be one and done again. They're going to have to figure out how to establish their culture. Everybody else fall flat on their faces, but the Cowboys can't. I appreciate you calling in, bro.
I kind of want to think too is like, imagine if we actually had that culture with this talent that we have now. How far would it go? And I'll leave it with that.
Can you repeat that one more time? If what happened?
How far we would actually go if we actually had a football culture here in Dallas.
Oh man,
with this talent, the amount of talent that we have.
Oh my gosh, man!
Imagine how far.
I'm talking about lifting up a Lombardi trophy. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Law.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. And I got a super chat. I make sure I got them all over here. I appreciate y'all, man, so much. I think Freddie says we need a coordinator that can take advantage of Parsons. I 1,000,000% agree with you, Freddie J, and I thank you so much for your support. And then he doubled back up again. And he says, you're right. Thank God for Mama. Yeah, laughing my A off. You got me good there. Yeah, Freddie J. Hey, the mamas, man, they be knowing, man. I know that a lot of people don't want us to mention Super Bowl, right, because of the way we finished out the season this year. But there's statements from our front office, Stephen Jones, who literally said, you don't win the Super Bowl in the offseason. Which two things, can be right. But with that mindset, you lose the Super Bowl in the offseason. you got to prepare yourself and your team in the off season so that they can take that momentum into the doggone regular season and from the regular season to the postseason. You ultimately win the Super Bowl in the off season. That's when all your wheels and deals go. That's when your motivation, that's when your blood, sweat, and tears are put out there on the field. You got to be prepared for that opportunity. You win the Super Bowl in the offseason. The 4 teams that's left right now, y'all can go look. Y'all can go look at what those boys were able to do during the offseason before the game is even played. I digress. All right, I got the 717. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to us, man.
Hey, Law, I'd like to I'm a big guy on facts, kind of like you are. Mm-hmm. So I got some heat for this, but again, you know, if you sit and look at it, I mean, they are identically similar. You go pull up Andy Dalton's playoff stats. Mm-hmm. They're roughly the same as Dak. Dak's one of the few quarterbacks in the league who averages either an interception every playoff game he's played in or multiple. Andy Dalton has that. And where I also go back to is these scenarios, and I got roasted by someone before saying I was comparing this guy to this, but I have other scenarios where it's comparable. Mm-hmm. Look what the Bucs had before the GOAT got there. Look at Drew Brees, what he did with New Orleans. I understand everyone loves Dak, but at some point, again, hindsight's not always 20/20, and I could, you know, looking back, be completely wrong. I look at those things. So Brady goes to, again, I'm not trying to compare Dak to Brady, because obviously people are going to say it's not a fair comp, but if you look what he took to the Super Bowl, now look, people want to reference coaching. I understand that. But Super Bowl, Breeze leaves the Chargers, albeit maybe it took a couple years. Saints win a Super Bowl. What I keep going back to is the quarterback. Like Rams couldn't get over the hump. Quarterback. Again, I know people are going to say, oh, well, look what Jared Goff's doing. But I mean, that example, in my opinion, is hard to refute. And then again, if you pull up Andy Dalton's playoff numbers, at what point do we look at what Dak is? And I understand people are like, oh, well, what are you going to get? Well, if you look at a lot of these other teams, again, I know the I don't know what the word would be, but you know, to piss into the wind, excuse my language, you're going to find to find a guy out in the draft that's going to do better. I mean, to me, it's almost worth. It's almost worth that chance, because again, at what point do people sit back and go, okay, so the Brady example I used, the Andy Dalton, almost identical numbers. At what point do you have that conversation? Because I'm sorry, if we pay Dak those numbers, we will be facing mediocrity
over again.
However long.
Let me ask you this. So when you look at Andy Dalton's playoff records at a base value, right? When they got rid of Andy Dalton,
real quick, Law, he didn't have the defensive talent. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. At no point did he have the defensive talent outside of A.J. Green as well.
And Vontez Burfict and them boys. No, man.
So,
I'm not finna use.
From an offensive standpoint, they had A.J. Green, but they didn't have CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson and, you know, the Hall of Fame offensive line. Like, I hate to, you know, I'm not trying to disrespect Dak by, you know, saying Andy Dalton, but, like, if you look at their numbers, they are literally almost exactly the same in the postseason.
Yeah, and I get that. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo numbers probably be better than Dak's in the postseason too. But I get what you're saying. I understand wholeheartedly what you're saying, and I don't have the information in front of me like you do as far as the Andy Dalton. No. That's okay. But what I'm saying is, ultimately with Andy Dalton, what happened? Did they extend him or they just let him walk? Right? They let him walk, didn't
moved off,
they? They moved off
of him.
Right.
And things ultimately worked out, which is kind
but
of
and the only difference is that they were able to move off from him because the previous contract wasn't constructed like Dak Prescott. You see, you're not having a Dak Prescott issue. You're having a contract issue. I think you're having a money issue. The best time to move on from Dak Prescott and to see what you could have got out of the open market was in the year 2018-19 after he getting off of that playoff run that he had. Let him see the open market, see what his value would be, see what other teams are willing to put up there. You didn't have to absolutely put the exclusive franchise tag on there. You could have tagged him with the tender tags, right? You could have put a 2 seconds or a first and a second, right? And you could allow the coach to give you that because the coach were saying that they were willing to pay him 30 to 35 million, you know. So my thing is with Dak Prescott, he's not having a contract. He's having a contract issue, not a plan issue. Go ahead.
No, and I agree with you. I get that dynamic. I guess this is kind of one of them things where, you know, when you mess up, your feet get held to the fire, and you stomach that money because like you said, you have a degree in finance. I'm sure there's brainiac people the Cowboys have hired there.
Yeah, they
where
do.
they could probably sit and figure something out. Like, you know, you guys with those degrees for numbers, figure something out and go into the draft and figure it out. Because again, like, yeah, that dead cap hit may suck, but if you sign him to all that money and you pay all of these other players quantifiably, to me, really the extension and then the extension of all the players with no results is more of a hit to me than the dead cap. Look at the Eagles did. Dead cap. Super Bowl. I like, it's, to me, you eat it and you say, hey, we made the wrong decision. Not every business person's going to make smart business decisions. And you go out in the draft and you hope to get someone cheap, like a CJ, not saying you're going to get a rookie season like a CJ Stroud, but I personally think
that's the only thing, though. The Cowboys are not going to lean on the hope aspect of it from that perspective, though. Now they're leaning on the risk. They're not going to. I do agree. Yeah. And even like if even if you're going to have surgery, right? The doctors give you a plan and say, okay, all right, we want you to fast. We don't want you to eat anything heavy before you have this surgery because they don't want certain things to happen as far as blood rate and blood pressure and all of that stuff and your body chemistry changing. So they say, hey, nothing heavy before surgery. And I'm thinking that the Cowboys may look at that and operate the same way. If they're going to cut Dak Prescott, they got to have nothing heavy. But guess what? The Cowboys, unfortunately, got a lot of heavy things. So they got the Micah Parsons deal that's around the corner. They got the CeeDee Lamb thing around the corner. And then they have to leverage and weigh out this organization. They going to still look at it like this. This team been 12-5 for the last 3 years with Dak Prescott. They don't know what it looked like without him. But they do remember 2015.
And I got you there. I do. Yeah. But what I also go back to is this. So how many coordinators, real quick, has Dak had now?
Okay, that's a good
all
one.
Of the Dak supporters.
Yeah. And what are those? And what are
three or four offensive coordinators now for Dak?
And what are all of those coordinators are doing now since Dak has since they've been left from Dak? You got Kellen. You got Kellen Moore.
You're trying to use.
No. I'm just saying this. Kellen Moore looking for a job. My guy Scott Linehan don't have a job in the NFL. And Jason Garrett, he took a not Green Bay Packers, the Giants team without Dak Prescott. He was averaging 16 points a game. I was only mad at the Giants for cutting Jason Garrett. They should keep Jason Garrett for 13 years. I wanted them to keep him just as long as we kept him, right? But all of those guys don't have jobs.
Has pedigree, correct? From
From where?
Being around organizations with championships, correct? Wasn't he involved with the Cowboys way back when for some of them Super Bowl runs?
No, it wasn't Scott Linehan. Scott Linehan was a part of the Rams when they was in St. Louis, and he was a 3-13 guy as a head coach. He was the only time Scott Linehan had success was when he was somewhere on the staff when the Minnesota Vikings had Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss that year. That's the only shining moment on his resume outside of 2014 and 16, and maybe you can throw in 18. But Scott Linehan been a guy that's not really successful on the NFL level. If you really look into his homework, Scott Linehan really that's the reason why he's on the street. I only think Jackson State will hire Scott Linehan, but shout out to Scott Linehan, though.
I'm mistaken then, Law. That's what I was thinking. But real quick to leave you with this, what I go back to, because I hear a lot of Cowboys fans say this, but then I guess my devil's advocate argument would be, well, I mean, at what point though, so what you're saying is we have to have a perfect team and setting for things to be functional, because I hear everybody say run the ball. Right. Ideally, hypothetically, yes, that idea behind all of that is great. But what I go back to is, so then we really have a quarterback that's a handicap, because if we're going to use that as an argument then, well, don't you think other teams are going to go, well, okay, then that's all we need to take away? Or if this guy gets – so basically my then question for the run the ball running back people – and the people that are so pro Dak, okay, so if the running back gets hurt, then our season's done.
Wouldn't you say the same for the Niners if CMC get hurt? Is he the force multiplier there? Wouldn't you see that differently? Look, the Niners would have lost.
I agree.
Niners,
I've never said Brock Purdy is in the Mahomes or the Lamar Jackson category. Right. I'm not someone who thinks that.
Right.
But in terms of paying someone those gigantic dollars to play at that, to basically cover up deficits, I think, and I hate to say this because I'm a Cowboys fan, I think next year is going to be very rough because they're going to lose people, and paying Dak, you're going to lose things.
Well, if you pay Dak, you actually, and I know from the sound of what you're saying, fam, I know you're not team paying Dak, but unfortunately, the way the contracts are, you get crazy amount of money on the cap if you extend Dak. That's the craziest thing, though, huh? It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. You get unbelievable money.
It's a horrible spot. It's like you said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a good and it's a bad spot to be in. I just don't like Law, and I guess this is where I'll leave you with, because I know there's other people on the phone you have to get to. That dynamic, I don't know if you get what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to sound harsh.
Right, no, you good.
Off if he doesn't have a running game, but I go back to and I look at some of the quarterbacks outside of the Eli Manning situation. Even though he was able to win 2 of them,
right.
I just don't like the thought of this guy has to have everything go perfectly right for him to have to be able to get to that next level. And I guess what I would say is I would argue, well, he has had those things and couldn't get it done. So then that's when I go back to that. I really think we have Andy Dalton 2.0, and anyone who would say no, I would invite you to go look at their historical stats side by side and then get back to me in the playoff realm.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that he was 0-4. He had 1 touchdown to 6 interceptions.
Right, Dak has some wins, but if you look at their stats, I mean, Dak, I forget what other people he's in that same category with, Law. He's one of, I think it's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
He has an interception in every single playoff game he started.
Yeah.
And you want to pay him $60 million.
I mean,
I'm good.
I've seen. Hold on. Let me say this though before I let you go. I've seen not Joe Burrow, but Justin Herbert get $250 million without winning a playoff game. Let that sink in. Appreciate you for calling in, bro.
Yeah, but again, I'm not high on him.
I give it what you said, but that would be a straw man's argument. I thank you, man. Thank you so much, bro. You're a good guy, man. Good call from you, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got to look at it from here. If we're going to pay quarterbacks based off of the playoff wins that they win, then like I said, Jimmy Garoppolo should get more money. than Aaron Rodgers because of those things right there. I get it. He did his homework. I don't have this debate show for comparing Dak Prescott to other quarterbacks, right? I'm not doing that, right? And even for those who are out here saying that's the equivalent for me saying we shouldn't pay Parsons because he's 1-3 in the playoffs too. You know, when you look at Parsons' playoff stats from a linebacker perspective. No, or an edge guy. No. We shouldn't be looking at it from there. And I get it. That can be also a straw man's argument because people can say, well, we talk about quarterbacks, right? You shouldn't move the argument because to fit your favor. But if we're only going to pay players based off of what they did in the playoffs, then there's going to be a lot of obscured contracts around here. There's going to be crazy contracts around here, right? Because ultimately, there was a time that John Elway, it took him all the way into 7 and 98. But in 1996, they lost to the Jaguars in the playoff. 13-3, number 1 seed. Who remember that? The Jags wouldn't gave them an L, right? So it's one of those things where you can look at it. And to use this as a argument, we can all, and I know that's way in the 90s, but even to use this as an argument, Kellen Moore is looking for a job. Scott Linehan don't have a job. Jason Garrett don't have a job, right? So we can use this as a situation that all of the OCs that the Cowboys had in the past, even with Dak Prescott, they don't even have jobs. Matter of fact, the last time Mike McCarthy called plays was way in 2017 and 18. And we had the expectations that he was going to call perfect plays for Dak Prescott to win the Super Bowl this year. And for him to be on the same page as all of those Shanahan, Callahan, Parahan, Joe Coolahan, or whatever, that just doesn't make sense to me. You pay for what you get. Now, I'm looking at Bobby Slowick. I'm looking at Ben Johnson. I'm looking at all of these boys who bringing in newness to the game. I mean, come on, man. Everybody else is in cars and we still on horse and carriages. Yeah, get on the, yeah. Yeah, we still riding horses. Everybody else in the future. We still riding horses. Can we get there? Yeah. Get on up there here. Yeah. Yeah, get on there. Yeah, boy, shy. Yeah. Everybody else in the future, they got cars and stuff, man. They taking Uber rides and stuff. They taking all types of other stuff, and we still talking about horse and carriages. Man, come on, man. I'm just telling y'all the truth. We got into that playoff game, and I'm not using Mike McCarthy as a scapegoat. And I'm definitely not leaving Dak Prescott off the hook. He played terrible. There were no motions. There was no pre-snap motions. We look stale as an old bag of chips that's halfway open in the backseat of a car. Yeah, get over here. Yeah. We got them horses out there, boy. Come on, boy. Get on up there hill. Yeah. Get on that hill. Somebody said, man, I'm going to go grab my horse this weekend because of law. And that's right. I got my guy from the 501 in the house, man. You're live. Talk to us, man.
Hey, how you doing today, Lo?
I'm doing good, man. Talk about these horses, man. Get on up there hill. Get up there hill.
I'm from Vicksburg, Mississippi, man. I know you from Jackson, Mississippi. I'm from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Okay.
And I went to Jackson State also.
Okay.
But, man, I'm listening to these people, man, about this football, man, about how bad they doing Dak Prescott, man. And if you really look at it, man, this is what, 32 teams in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the last 5 years, the Super Bowl, I think who won it? Tom Brady won it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes won it twice. And I think it was either Stephen or Goff. One won it. So they're the top quarterback.
Stafford. It was Stafford.
So,
Never wasn't Goff, man. It wasn't Goff, but Goff made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
It was Stafford, right? And then you got who you got? Tom Brady's out of there, which Dak.
Yep. You all right?
So
you good? Cause I lost you for a second, bro. Come on. Yeah.
Okay, and then you got Dak, who beat Tom Brady, and kind of forced Tom Brady into retiring, and then he was voted for the be MVP. We just talking about him being MVP. Now, since Dak's been playing, I ain't seen him with a good coach or offensive coordinator to train him or help him. That game I seen, it hurt us, but they ain't said nothing about CeeDee Lamb run the wrong route, can't catch the ball, because you throw a receiver open. He's supposed to be there. You supposed to throw that ball, and it's supposed to be about timing. Nobody said nothing about that. Yeah. Dak made CD look way better this year. You see, and then what's his name, Sam? What's his name, Brandon Cook?
Yeah.
Let that man come straight through him.
Yeah, it was reported. It was reported like when I saw the INT, I of course immediately I'm mad at Dak. Like, come on, man. And then I had several people, man, Cole Beasley, even Jesse. I'm gonna put up a clip of him talking about it, and he was saying that it was a terrible route by Brandon Cooks. And there are times that you will look at a team and say, hey, man, not everybody got to be bad on the same day. I get it. If your quarterback bad, let your running back start running. If your running back bad, let your quarterback open it up. If your wide receiver's bad, then come on, man, run it tight end. But everybody, only person who played good was Fergs. He's the only one. And we were sitting there trying to move him out and putting the schoolmaker in at times. So the team, you got to look at it that the team just wasn't prepared at the crib, bro. We just wasn't ready, man. Because we had horses out there. Get on there.
Let me ask you a question. We were doing good when Mike McCarthy used to do let Turpin do an end around.
Yeah.
That man got some speed, run like 25 miles an hour. When we had on 2nd and 3, why you won't let that man run that? Why, he was even going out for passes, catching touchdowns. What happened to that?
Man, sometimes, man, those are the stagnant things that we do. Like I said it this way, man, during the season. Turpin runs a 4.39 or 4.29, some crazy good number like that.
Yeah.
Two times out of a game, I just need to see him on a 9 so that the defense can play honest. So that they see number 9 out there, they know, hey man, that dude got that real speed, and that keeps your DBs, everybody honest. Whereas their first 2 steps are not forward, it's backwards because they see, even if everybody know that they finna be a deep pass. I used to say some of those deep balls that Dak Prescott was trying to hit with Brandon Cooks, he was off page all year with him, right? But he was right on the money with Turpin. Look at that. I want people to go watch the 49ers game. Turpin scored that touchdown. I want people to go watch the Washington game. Turpin scored that touchdown. Look, all you had to do, Mike McCarthy, just open it up. Get the legils, man. Get the nervousness out of them. At least Turpin can be the guy that can run up under the ball and catch it, right? And put him on the end around. Turpin averaged this year 7 to 8 yards per end around. That's getting everybody, everybody kind of tense, nervous a little bit. That's playoff game. I know, I get it. We don't want to say that word. But all he had to do was get out of the horse. Get out there. Yeah. Put that fast car in there, man. Put that car in there.
And not only that, we used to have a lineman in the backfield to block for a running back. I ain't see that none.
No.
So I don't know what he doing, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say this here. I know people don't like this here, but if it was me on defense, I would put Sam Williams on that line. I know he ran into the kick and then he ran into the funnel.
Can't get right.
He do be back there.
Yeah. You know what happened with Sam? He's pressing. He wanted to show the world, I can make a play. Get me out there, coach. Get me out there. Y'all drafted me in the second. He was a second round draft pick, man. if I drafted the dude in the second round, he trust and believe, and he runs a 4.4, he's out there playing. I'm figuring out a way to put him out there on the field. I'm figuring out a way, man. I'll put him at Mike. Yeah. He couldn't do worse than what my guy Clark was doing. I said, hey, man, Parsons, I get it. You going to play on the edge? Sam Williams played linebacker in Ole Miss, man. I'm just going to put him out there just to see can he stop this bleeding, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. And then, like, everybody was trying to blame Dak. Yeah. You know, what Dak was 41 for 60. Even if he messed up in the first quarter, that didn't make the defense. You know, they kept letting people score. They said it was garbage points in the end, but it shouldn't have been garbage points. If the defense, all they had to do was hold them a couple of times. You know, so we'd have been right in the game, because I think they started back in once Dak got hot.
Man, you ain't lying, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, bro.
All right.
Hey, you from Suge Knight people, man. You know, salute to Vicksburg, man. They don't know Suge Knight and them, man, from Vicksburg, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, that's my hometown, bro.
Yes, indeed. Salute, bro. Yeah. Good call from him, man. Hey, y'all get what we were saying, basically, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in and being who y'all are. Let's go to the next caller. Y'all having fun? We got, man, I wanted to get to everybody that called in, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4 callers left, man. So I'm gonna get to all of y'all. I want y'all to enjoy y'all Fridays or what have you, and have a good time. Maybe go watch a movie. Blue Samurai is a real good movie out right now. A series there. I saw He-Man, Master of the Universe or something like that. That's out on Netflix, I believe. Yeah, that's a real good one. And I think Echo on Disney, Girl with the Half Leg or what have you. And I'm gonna go watch one of those. So those are all my movies that I'm gonna go watch, or series I'm gonna go watch. So y'all let me know what to go watch too. I got the 254. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
I got the 254.
Yellow.
You're live on the, brought to you by Prize Picks.
Got Jeremy from the 615. You're live like 95, man. Talk to me, man.
What's up, Big Law? I know it's been a long time, Big Dog. How you been doing?
One day at a time, man. Birthday on February the 2nd, though. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm about to say this. I'm about to say happy future birthday.
Appreciate you.
Before the birthday.
Yeah.
Man, I know everybody's critical about Dak, and my thing is, listen, I know we all disappointed that we lost against the Packers, but I was telling people, I said, listen, if Dak had the spirit of Bart Starr, Ted Bradshaw, Staubach, Marino, and all these great quarterbacks in him, it ain't no way he was going to win that game, because the defense allowed 48 points.
41, because they're gonna let you know that, hey, that pick six. Now come on, man, that was Dak.
It was Dak, but he was pressing because he was already behind. So when you got to throw the ball in the air and you don't have a running game, that happens. But at the end of the day, you can't expect your quarterback to do all this when they allow 41 points on the board like that. I'm talking about before Dak can even get started, it was out of hand. You know what I mean?
And that's why, man, the next week, Savage, he had him a clear pick six. Then he wanted to play volleyball with the football against the 49ers, you know. I'm saying, like, Savage, I say, why? He catch good when he was in Dallas. He went to San Fran. Savage had that nice pick six on Brock Purdy, and he said he don't want to be great. He dropped the ball. I'm sitting here like, come on.
He so did. And check it out. Hey, I'm predicting Detroit to win this game. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Brock Purdy, he threw 2, but he almost gave away 5 interceptions. I'm telling you, Detroit's not gonna take them boys for granted. I'm telling you, they coming in with that hunger of a bull in them, and they're not gonna take them boys for granted. I know your brother is a 49er fan, but Twin Makers, he gonna get disappointed again. He gonna be laid out drinking that Henny again, this Sunday.
Man, but according he gonna be like me, yeah, laid out like Family Guy. But according to the TikTokers, man, according to the NFL logo, it's gonna be San Fran and the Ravens though. If them TikTokers right, them TikTokers. You ever go to TikTok, man? You go to TikTok and you just be sitting there watching in that conspiracy movie. You ever hear that music like that? And they be like, hey, according to the NFL logos, there will be a situation and a chance that there will be Ravens, 49ers, based off the logo in the last 10 years. Boy, that TikTok will be going on, man. I hope they are too, but man, come on.
But my thing is, I want to talk about the 90s Cowboys.
Go ahead.
Because, y'all was talking about the whole thing between the draft and free agency. The thing is with the Cowboys is we draft good. This last draft was kind of iffy.
Yeah.
But we usually draft spectacular. But the thing is we lost the emphasis on the free agency. Now, people got to understand that people that know football like you and I is, the draft is a process on getting players that's prospect. There's a prospect of being a beast later on. They're developmental players.
True.
And the thing was, the reason why we was winning Super Bowls was basically it was the draft, but it was the free agency that mainly won us our Super Bowls, along with the culture of Jimmy Johnson and everything like that. When I was a kid, I did not pay attention to the NFL draft when it came down to the Cowboys, because I know that we was king on free agency. Free agency, we was the king. We was the best team in the NFL on free agency. Or whatnot, at least the top 5 in the 90s or whatnot.
But let me throw the counter in here, because they're going to do that. There was pre-salary cap. Salary cap started in 94, 95. So even the guys that we got in 94, 95, we didn't felt it until like 96, 97. I would say this too, though. We were still ultra competitive even with our acquisition, because we would get people to say, hey, they want to come to play just because of the star, right? But as that Super Bowl high faded off, because I can always look at this team and say we're talented. But what we tried to do is replace an identity of what we thought was of this team wrongly. Think about this. When Michael Irvin left the team, the Cowboys start overexerting themselves to find that wide receiver to place Michael Irvin. And they forgot about the running back situation. So that's why we gave up the form to get Joey Galloway. We paid Rocket Ishmael. We did all of those things to keep that identity of the wide receiver on this team being their aerial attack, because those what really sell tickets. And then when the Joey Galloway thing went to shambles, we also double dipped and went and tried to do the same thing for Roy Williams, the wide receiver.
Yeah, I remember Roy.
Right.
Yeah, he had that one shining moment, and they decided to keep it.
And the craziest thing with Joey is that we had him here. He tore up all his legs and everything. That's when that's when it very first started, when we started talking about the curse and everything. That's when he tore up all his legs and everything, and then he goes to Tampa Bay. He balls out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
He goes to another team. He balls out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
I remember that season, because I was streaming at the TV stream. Joey, why did you do that for us?
Why you do that for us, man? And guess what? It did it again to us, because we drafted another guy named Antonio Bryant, right? For us, he was okay. He did some good, spectacular stuff. He got into it with Bill Parsons, threw the jersey in his face. He goes to Tampa Bay. He does what? He balls out. I'm saying, like, wait a minute now.
Hey, maybe it's the sun, man. And I'm going to hit on one subject, and I know you got other people on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know what that dude was on, the white dude that was talking about, he was comparing Dak to the Red Rocket.
Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, Andy Dalton. Yeah.
Dude, I want to find out who his drug dealer is. Listen, you do not compare Dak Prescott to Andy Dalton. You remember the year when he came to be our backup, and you seen what happened to Dak. He's a Chucky doll. He's bad luck. Listen, when it comes down to that situation with Andy Dalton and Dak or whatnot, you can't compare them to or whatnot. Andy Dalton only had 2 good seasons. Now you remember Mario Mariota.
Yeah.
Mario Mariota of the Titans. He was going to be a pretty good a quarterback for the league, but they gave him 5 different offensive coordinators. Oof. And it scrambled his brain, and he was never the same again. And he didn't have no major injuries. Listen, if you got a quarterback like Dak Prescott that I've been through 3 to 4 different offensive coordinators, meaning that he's been pointed in 4 different directions, and this man still balled out and made them, and even though they wasn't that great of offensive coordinators, and made them look good, we got our quarterback. Yeah. Dak is not the problem. It's just the organization that got Dallas Cowboys got to figure out what's going to be their identity and what's going to be the format and the blueprint that we going to follow. And we need to stick to it, and we need to draft upon it and free agent upon our format that we going to stick to. The thing is, we got a wishy-washy front office. Yeah. And when you got a wishy-washy front office, you can't get a Super Bowl out of that because you take one direction where if this don't work, you don't give it a chance, you move on to another direction. Yep. All these teams that's in the playoffs have a format that they stick to. They rinse, wash, and repeat, and they do it all over again. And then they build upon it, whatever does not work, and they add on pieces that work with it. We got to stick with a format, and that's all I got to say. I'm going to let you go.
Man, you killed it, bro. Oh, my God, you killed it. Wishy-washy, bro. Sticking to the format. We don't want hard coaches. Bill Callahan, when he was here, shoot. Bill Callahan was just getting this thing right with that old line. And then he bumped heads with Scott Linehan, I guess with too many hands, or Jason Garrett, whatever it may be. But I think Bill Callahan, if we would have kept him, we'd have been good. John Kitna, hey, Tad and all of them, man, please don't come after me, man. But I think John Kitna gave us the sternness that we needed for Dak Prescott. We needed a stern coach, quarterback guy that can hold him accountable, right? We got rid of that. We went peer-to-peer. Kellen Moore, let him go from a quarterback coach to an offensive coordinator, man. That did us bad. Remember Mark Colombo? I mean, stern stuff, man. People were talking like, man, Mark Colombo, man, he boy crazy, man, with that offensive line. Toughness, man. You talking about biting kneecaps off and stuff like that, what Dan Campbell is doing over there in Detroit land. Colombo brings that type of spice. Oh, man, we don't like that stuff. Colombo tried to take that stuff to the Giants, and he got to fight with Coach Judge up there, I heard. Colombo was swinging blows, I heard. Pause if necessary, Yeah. Rev says John Kitna, Bill Callahan, Mark Colombo. We didn't want those type of dudes, man, with that alpha male mentality that can move stuff around. We had a super chat earlier. Make sure I get to it. Sanjay says Chris Jones is light years ahead of Wilkins. Yeah. Chris Jones will bring you a little bit more, but I'm thinking that you look at the youth of Wilkins. He 27, 28. Chris Jones 29, close to 30. So you can look at it from that aspect. But Chris Jones, shout out to my Mississippi boys. Hey, Hell State, bring them back. Let's do it. But it be those small things, man. Call me. Or what if I told you, guys? It's the little things with the Cowboys. You see, they were talking about Fred Warner, but he had D'Amico Ryans. Our linebackers got Darian Thompson. Do the Cowboys really want to win? Let me throw Chris Richard in there, Rico Jones. Yeah. My thing is with Chris Richard, man, don't give that man the duties without the title. Like, he's the defensive coordinator, but he don't have the title, so he's not the defensive coordinator. That is Rob Marinelli's guy, team. All right. I got JV, man. You're live on the Nation, man. Talk to me from the 901. Talk to me, man.
Law Nation, how you doing?
Man, doing great, bro. Can't complain.
Hey, man. Hey, first off, I want to say, it's always great talking to you, a fellow Aquarius. My birthday was on this past Wednesday.
For
sure, man. I just dig that. Look here. First off, I got a couple points, but the first one I want to talk about is Trey Lance. Now, Trey Lance is up for a 5th-year option. Am I correct?
I think Trey Lance is due to like 1.5 or something like that $1 million this year, and then you can extend him. I don't know the base of his contract, but what you getting at though? Yeah, go ahead. What you getting at?
Because I heard that his 5th-year option was in upwards of like $20 million or something like that.
They definitely ain't gonna do that.
That one. Yeah. That's what I know they're not gonna do.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do that.
I know that he got a 5th-year option that they could pick up or something.
Okay, I got it right here. All right, so the Cowboys are up for a $940,000 cap hit for Trey Lance this 2023, and then 2024 he will be due a roster bonus of $4.2 million and a cap hit of $5.3 million. However that works out as far as his deal. I don't know how all of this stuff works beyond 2024, 2025. I don't know, man. I'll be lying to you, and I don't want to do that to you, fam.
Okay. Well, that's still pretty steep right there, I believe. But hey, we can work with it, I guess, if folks really want to see him.
I think what you do is you and I know Trey been working on his mechanics and things like that, and he's been working on his feet work. I think that he works with the same trainer that Pat Mahomes worked with, Christian Wilkins. He works with him. He works with my guy 2 Live. They've been working with him, bro, and I know for sure we'll sit into some sessions there this offseason and see what he's able to do. I think that the Cowboys will plan to break the pool stick in the middle of the table and say y'all two fight for it, far as him versus Cooper Rush. And ultimately, I think that Trey Lance will beat out Cooper Rush, and he'll be your de facto quarterback number 2. And then however the contract works out with that, with Dak Prescott, they will be looking at Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance going to have a lot of noise. Hear me out, though, fam. He going to have a lot of noise in training camp. You know that little deal, that little damn drill they do about throwing the ball in the bucket?
Right.
Yeah, he gonna drop that ball in that bucket every time. That boy is accurate with it, but keep going.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of noise, but
I mean, a lot of noise.
Realistically, let's look at it. He's injury prone.
I
mean, all the training ain't gonna stop him from getting hurt because somebody done glue on him on the field, and now he out for the season again, or something of that nature. But I really didn't want to. I just want to talk about his 5th-year option. I thought it was up for $20 million. I'm glad that you.
No, that ain't 20. I ain't see 20 on there from what I saw.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk to you about some of the callers from earlier, especially when they were talking about Dak Prescott. It's like sometimes they prove to me how, even though they call a lot, they don't really ever listen to your show, because I remember talking to you plenty of times, especially like last year and the season before, how we were constantly going with me and you together. We were discussing on extending these guys' contracts before the contracts ended. We were talking about CeeDee Lamb, Trevor Diggs, all these guys. That way we would end up having to pay so much money when the contract comes to a complete and total end, and the Cowboys be stuck out here with nothing. But, I mean, it seems like the front office doesn't want to learn their lesson and just wait until the very end to want to pay these guys. Now their back's up against the wall, and they have no choice but to either pay these guys or franchise tag these guys. But Dak Prescott, if you haven't learned from Dak Prescott, you franchise tag a guy, you can really forget about any type of team-friendly deal,
right,
anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the future.
Yeah.
So and but they'll still come in. They'll give these off the wall scenarios that really don't make any sense. Like, how many times have you seen Dak has a no trade clause on this?
Yeah.
On the country, I mean, you could sit there and say that for 3-4 hours on the live stream. Dak has a no trade clause, nothing else but just that one statement. And folks will still be in the chat, and folks will still call up talking about we need to trade that.
You trade that, yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense. But that's what I really want to talk about. I mean, this as far as his contract goes and all that, hey, I'm with Dak to go ahead and get his money and stuff like that, because if he get his money and they extend them, like you said, that will help out with the cap, and we can get some more players like CD Lamb going ahead and get his money. You know, I would prefer to see Jonathan Hankins back again, but as far as the draft goes, you know, I want to see in the first round. Me personally, I would rather see a linebacker take it.
No doubt, man. Let's go, JV. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Good call from you.
Hey, have a great one, and I'll talk with you later. Have a great weekend.
You as well, man. Good call from him. You know, some people are selective hearers, right? They have the nerve and the audacity to say, "Hey, man, he's just an apologist, and he only no." We absolutely look at the fullness of all of these things, and of course, you would want your quarterback to win, right? So I hope that the good Lord allows me to live for the next quarterback, and I'll be still having the same stance of where I have right now. Look, Pat Mahomes, who shares the same agent that I believe Dak Prescott have, Todd France or CAA or whoever it may be, Pat Mahomes won't be a free agent until 2032. But, you know, his base salary for 2024, $34 million. You know what I'm saying? $34 million, $8 million base salary. For 2025, $16 million. With a roster signing bonus of $4 million. You know, so 2026, 45, 2027, 45, and then 28, 17, and 2029, 9, and then it jumps up to $30 million. So that's the ultimate deal. 10-year deal, $450 million contract, and he got all type of accelerators on that thing. And he is by far your best quarterback on this side of the world. That's Pat Mahomes. That's Pat Mahomes. Money Mahomes. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they were able to get in front of that contract because, of course, you look at as Pat Mahomes, it's hard to utilize anybody to say otherwise. But Pat Mahomes, to this day, probably won't even have a Super Bowl ring if he didn't have a run game in that Super Bowl, his first one that he went to. He probably meant to the Super Bowl, but let me know what that running back did. It takes a complete team, baby. And that's even with one of the better quarterbacks y'all ever seen in the last 10 years. What they saying with C.J. Stroud, hey, he going to have a better running game. Great team, won a playoff game, beat the brakes off of the Browns. But he need a better running game, man, when he played against those Ravens, man. Either you can cry about it or try to build around it. The wise choice would be, hey, build around it. And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is a C.J. Stroud or a Pat Mahomes. He's Dak Prescott. All right, we got the 678. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Man, Law. What's good, my brother? Man,
hey, man, I'm glad I made it to you, man. You, like I said, this phone line longer than Shaq feet. Well, you the big toe then, dog.
Hey.
You the big toe. I made it all the way to it. Go ahead.
Man, look here. I've sat through and listened to all this rhetoric about Dak, and I'm really just convinced there's just people that just don't like Dak, and you can find every stat in the world to find something wrong with any type of player in the NFL if you want to find it, and I'm gonna leave that part alone. But what I will say is this: I have to correct a couple of things that's kind of circling around about how Dak had so many coordinators to do what he's done in his career.
Right.
But really, Law, Dak really only had 2 coordinators.
Okay.
Here's my point. All them jokers fell from the Jason Garrett tree.
Right.
Except for Mike McCarthy.
Right. And he didn't call plays since 18.
He had this coordinator. It was all from the Jason Garrett tree. I mean, for real.
Yeah. Break it down, bro.
You know, but a lot of people, you know, like we always talk about the Shanahan tree. You see all them boys in the NFL. Oh, that's the Shanahan tree. That had all Jason Garrett tree guys.
Right.
Period. Until this year, which was his best year by far as a
right. He's an MVP running. I keep going, boy. You
MVP running. You know, but okay, we'll say all that. But back to some of this contract stuff that they talk about his contract, and a lot of people are fans. Now you are analysts, and we have several other good brothers that's doing great podcasts that are true analysts that understand the business side. Our fans, they don't have to understand the business side, but when you start making bonehead statements, you have to understand that there's a union that's involved with the NFL players.
Right.
And even if Dak sucks, like some people say he do, because he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, this is what the union said you're going to have to pay him. See, people don't understand that part. They're not going to allow Dak to go up under a certain amount in the contract.
Yeah.
But people don't want to get gritty like that. And they go, he should take a pay cut. Man, you try to take a pay cut and see what the union do.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting real technical with it. I don't mean to take people there, but I'm just trying to wipe out this whole deal about what he needs to do. He played like a top 10 quarterback. He's basically a top 3 quarterback. He did. The numbers is what pay you. I'm sorry. Wins and losses, I understand. The numbers pay you.
Yeah.
And that's what they look at. They look at the numbers of what you've done, just like, you know, every other player on there. They look at their time. They look at the things that they're going to pay you by what you've done, except when you're a rookie. And when you're a rookie, you know, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they got to understand that the television contract thing is coming up. These players, they know it.
Yep.
Everybody knows it's coming up. You know, the agents know it. They're going to do it.
And let me put some of this out there, too. The playoff numbers don't pay you either. Because if that the case, Kyler Murray wouldn't have got paid. Herbert wouldn't have got paid. And believe it or not, my guy Lamar Jackson was 1-3 until this year in the playoffs. So he wouldn't have got paid. So I get what people are saying, and I get what people are saying. Well, the MVP is out. So is Josh Allen. You know, he was an MVP runner. He's not in the playoffs anymore, you know. And my guy Burrows, he can't stay healthy. But the thing is, Burrow will get a pass because, he was on a team that made it to the playoffs and made it to the Super Bowl or what have you. But he can't stay healthy, man. You know, at this time, you know, you're going to have to start thinking that, hey, will he be able to stay healthy for 2024, you know?
We don't know, but he's getting that top dollar.
He getting that check every single. And see, this is the thing where he's going to get cover on. Ain't nobody's going to mention that. You know, everybody else trip and fall, you know, nobody going to mention, pick that man up, man, look what he's doing. But if our quarterback continue to get hurt or did something bad, the expectations still remain the same. This dude broke his thumb in 2022, and people still wanted the same results. Nobody was talking about, hey, man, he had a broken thumb. The thumb bent all the way back to his wrist. No, they were saying stop all of the excuses.
Look. They saying it now. Now, the front office know they did. I ain't gonna say they did Dak dirty, but they're responsible because they didn't supply him what he actually needed. We covered up a lot of things by winning. The moment we lost, we was able to dissect the ugly head, the ugly problem. You put Dak Prescott out there one-sided. Now you put the man one-sided. A lot of people like, what you mean one-sided? You had Tony Pollard. No, you had a change-up back. Is what you had.
Ooh, don't talk to him. Don't talk too much sense, bro. Don't talk too much sense to him. They ain't ready for that conversation, you know.
And as soon as that couldn't over adapt to a suspect. Now think about it. You know, defense. Let's go to the defense that's looking at that.
Right.
They look back there in that backfield and they say, "Oh shoot, man. Oh, that's just Tony Pollard. Shoot, we got 4 guys that can handle that. Hey, drop 7. We good."
Yeah.
Oh, that you did. But damn, if they covering all the damn lanes across the field playing zone, you're gonna get one, especially if you got to catch up. But that's just during their playoff time now. And now every team didn't play that, but When you don't have a threat in the backfield, you remember when Zeke was there?
Right.
Man, you had 8, 9 men boxing, sitting right there waiting, and they still really couldn't get him. But that's the fact. You can't go into a game against a championship team one-dimensional.
Yeah.
It can't happen. You're gonna get it's gonna show up. But anyway, enough on Dak.
But before you go there, I just gotta throw this in one more time. One more time. Peyton Manning had Adrian James in his youth, right? And he couldn't win playoff games. He had a better coach all around. He had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark. He couldn't win playoff games. It took him 8 and 9 years before he can win multiple playoff games or what have you. And he ultimately won the Super Bowl in his 8th or 9th season or what have you. But I get it. That's Peyton Manning, his first-round draft pick. And he had edge. He had a Hall of Fame offensive line. And on top of that, he had a defensive-minded coach in Tony Dungy. And guess what? He couldn't win it. He couldn't win it at all.
Hey, Law.
Go ahead.
Let me add to the Peyton Manning. He lost 3 straight to Tom Brady. 3 straight to Tom Brady.
They don't want to hear that, bro. They don't want to hear that.
They don't really want to go back there. They just want to start crying about it. But anyway, let's get to this Micah Parsons real quick. Then we're gonna sum this thing up.
Go ahead.
Now I know the thing is Micah Parsons wants to play DN. Micah Parsons wants to do, and I heard him being selfish. And I think, like I said, it's kind of taken out of context a little bit. But I'm gonna push back just a little bit. Micah Parsons goes exactly where they tell him to go.
Yeah.
Okay. If Steven and Jerry is saying, hey, I want him at DN, that's where he's going. If the coach say I want him at DN, that's where he's going. If they say I want him at linebacker, that's where he's going. So the thing about Parsons being selfish, I understand it. And he probably could have to stand up on the table and say, hey, guys, you drafted me as a linebacker, put me at linebacker, put D. Williams at DN, and let me play my natural position.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he could. I don't even know if that's what he's saying. But ultimately, that is the organization and the coaches that's positioning Micah Parsons. So, hey, I hear it, and it is kind of, how the way you listen.
It goes all the way back to what I said earlier. They want Darian Thompson and Scott McCurley to be DeMeco Ryans. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that out of those two. And when you got rid of George Edwards, you got rid of a guy with knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So that's why you saw a big drop on the linebacker room. And we don't even know how much influences that others had even in that time frame when he was here. So what I'm saying ultimately is that you really can't compare apples to apples when my guy brought up Fred Warner, that when you see Fred Warner out there on the field, now you seeing the whole goal of it, fam, is for ultimately your players to adopt the identity of your coaches, right? So all linebackers technically were playing just like Thompson, who was a safety in this league, right? Ultimately, he was playing like McCurley, who we don't even know what he was doing in his life. But you know what I'm saying? As a first time calling plays for linebackers or training these boys up. And Dan Quinn, for the life of me, he was brought here he is an absolute guy that had good stuff with defensive fronts. He had nothing to do with DBs. And what shined the most for this Cowboys team is the DB plays from Al Harris and Joe Witt Jr. And I'm not beating up Dan Quinn, but these are the realities of it. So he got credit. He got credit for all of that stuff. And shout out to Dan Quinn. We love cover 3. We love what they are able to exhibit and exude. But I think that this defense got an unfair shake at everything. Now, granted, here's the 1,000 truths of it all. Dan Quinn is better than Rob Marinelli. That's what the truth is.
Boy. Hey, found that boy. Play that.
He better than Mike Nolan and Rob Marinelli, I guarantee you that. Yeah.
You know what, Law? You just said something. You just cleared up something. You probably didn't realize you did it.
Yeah.
I just got through saying where Micah Parsons is told to play by the coaches. You just summed it up. Dan Quinn is a defensive line guy.
Yep.
He was his best guy on that line. And that's exactly what it was.
Oh my God, damn! You sure right. Yeah. Yeah, that's why he cut his teeth at in Seattle. Defensive line linebacker guy. Yeah. Damn, boy, you right, boy. It took us 4 hours to get to this point, man. Damn you, man. It took us 4 hours, man. Look, and you crazy. I'm glad that you the last caller because, hey, you know good and well, nobody care about really what Parsons is doing. Because all of the callers, everybody talking about Dak. It's like it's Dak. You know, we done spent about 5 hours talking about Dak, and the whole conversation supposed to be about Parsons and the solutions and all of this stuff. But everybody don't care about that. They know, look, Parsons gonna be good. You know, collectively, you know.
Man, and look, one last thing. Check on my boy, Boss Cowboy. I was on the chat with him the other night, and he let out some real personal stuff about his life.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't see that one, and I haven't seen him on the live on the podcast. But you know, big prayers to my boy, Boss Cowboy. He's on the money. That's my dude. That's my dude right there. I enjoy his podcast as well. I enjoy yours, and you and my son got the same birthday, 222.
Oh yeah, that's what's it, man. He a legend already. Then. Yeah, I'm gonna check on my guy, Boss, man. When my mom passed away, quick story. It's just like I want to share something close to y'all. He called me every day. He hit me up every day. You know what I'm saying? And it was him. Like I was like, I'm done. You know, I'm sticking a fork in me, man. But he was like, hey, Law, I'm just checking in on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that was like 6 months ago. You know, he called me every day. He hit me up, and he was like, man, I'm just checking on you, Law. And even when I was just like done, he was like, hey, Law, man, you killing it, dog. It was him, man. So Boss Cowboy, I'm going to do the same. Man. I'm going to check on him, man. Because at the end of the day, we content creators, but at the end of the day, we family too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And look, I don't always agree with everybody, right? We don't all agree. But at the end of the day, when we kick it with each other, real talk, I know he'll give me the shirt off of his back. I give him a shirt off of my back, you know, and that's what we do. That's why we do this, man, because this is family. You know, I talk bad about him. He talk bad about me. You know what I'm saying? But then we'll shake it off just like real bros and keep it moving, you know. And I'm going to check on him, man, because I don't know what he said, but the way you brought it up, I'm going to have to go watch that video. Yeah.
Hey, dude, that's my dude. I got a whole different respect. I already had respect for him anyway. But when he shared some things with everybody that was listening, man, and I know everybody who was on that chat had to feel it.
Yeah, had to feel it, man. I'm going to go check in on him, man, because I know he would have been hit me. He normally been hit me up and talk about this Jesse thing, and, you know, he'll put his thinking cap on, and he'll bring up, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, dog.
Hey, for real, bro. Nice show, bro.
No doubt. Appreciate you, man. Good call from my guy. I forgot to even get his name. I forgot to get his name. Hey, post your name in the chat, bro. Appreciate everybody who called in, man. Gonna check in on my boss, Cowboy. You know, we do some events together, and we'll be driving through Dallas, and you see Law Boss as a what you call those things? Is billboard. We see Law Boss. Like that's our name. One day our name gonna be up there just like that. And I'm quite sure, you know, we continue to do these things. One day our name's gonna be up on one of those billboards. Not for a wanted, you know, not for that. But I know this episode was super long, man, and I ain't mean for this episode to be this long. Every time I open up the phone line, that's what happened. My guy Brandon, I blame Brandon. He brought up, look, we supposed to be talking about Parsons, Brandon talking about contracts, and then we fall into every single conversation was about Dak Prescott and his contract. So Parsons right now probably laughing like, hey man, these dudes, man, they talking about Dak. They ain't talking about, you know, me. They talking about Dak. And speaking of Parsons, he was the first one to say, we can all say this, he was the first one to say that Dak Prescott got those MVP numbers and he should be considered MVP. And look how that exploded into that whole conversational piece there. I know this therapy, man, but hey, even if y'all disagree with what we're saying, hit the like button. Even if you disagree with what we're saying, share this content, man. And off season is long for a reason, man. And we try to give our truths. Even if, look, the main thing, we can be 1,000,000% wrong, bro. But at the end of the day, we want what's best for this team. And I don't want y'all to be taking these things to heart. I think that Jesse coming still from a clean spot. I think that at the end of the day, we all kind of frustrated. We still angry and mad at the outcome of the game. But I want y'all to go back to listen to what he said. Listen to my guy Koye, what he said. He literally got Micah Parsons better than Ray Lewis, better than Roquan, better than Fred Warner. That's what even Jackson was saying. So collectively, we got us a weapon over here. And if it took, how many years did it took Aaron Donald? And what did Aaron Donald had it in order to win his Super Bowl? They had to get a Floyd. They had to go get Smooth, Jalen Ramsey. They had to go get a Von Miller. They had to get a whole bunch of pieces over there, man. And we arguing over Parsons. I'm like, sure, Parsons is him. Let's go get somebody else to add in and pair up with him. That's all I'm saying. They can put him in free safety. All I care. We know what he's going to bring to the table, at least 13 to 14 sacks. Whether he going to jump on a podcast and be podcast Parsons, this generation is new. I told y'all, I didn't like the idea. From the jump. I'm 40. I'm old enough to be his dad. So I look at it differently. I may not look it, but I'm old, man. We want it to be a different way. But this new generation is just different, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to talk about it. They're going to jump on TikTok. They're going to jump on Twitter. That's what they do. That's life. So what we got to do is we can't fight each other over it. We can't. We can't be pointing fingers at each other. We can't. Point the finger. You got three pointing back at you. In the hearts of hearts, we know that this kid want to win ultimately. We know that. A prize fighter even continue to swing when everyone thinks that he's down. But all that prize fighter knows that it takes one punch. Don't put it all. See, that's what we tend to do. We put it all on Bland. And then when Bland get cooked a little bit, he trash. We put it all on Parsons. When Parsons can't get to the quarterback, he trash. We put it all on these individual players when it takes it to complete team. We put it all on Dak Prescott and say, hey, man, he got all the weapons. Look at it. He got CD. He got Brandon Cooks. He got Tony Pollard. He got a whole offensive line. He should be able to win. When we start to deep dive into the concepts of everything, we got a play caller who haven't called plays since 2018. But all those are excuses. But he didn't call plays since 2018. Everybody else in cars, we still in horses. Get on up there. And we were still able to be better than what we were the previous year. Collectively, from an offensive perspective. All I'm saying is the Cowboys front office, they get stagnant. They get comfortable. Just a little bit too much, and I'm here to apply the pressure. So we're going to bang on this table and say, y'all need to do something in free agency. We're going to bang on this table and say, hey, y'all need to make some trades up in this draft to get a known commodity. And when y'all don't, you're going to get a person like Law Nation that can throw ripples of vibrations to the universe or the multiverse, and it's going to hit one of these players. I had somebody here earlier talking about, hey, man, these people don't listen to your show. Bull Sugar, look at the numbers. Somebody's listening. Somebody's watching. And sometimes when y'all can see other episodes, y'all see some of my fingerprints all over it. That's a little Law Nation right there. Oh, that's a little Law Nation. They took that concept from Law Nation. But I don't care if they do. I don't care if somebody ripped this whole video and repurposed it on a whole nother YouTube page. Often imitated, but never what? Never duplicated. I spit everything from my heart. I give y'all everything I got. I ultimately want to see this team win, and no man can say otherwise. I got the heart. If you cut me open right now, silver and blue gonna come out of me. And we're gonna throw them hands too. We're gonna throw them hands. Yeah. God Almighty gonna be on my side too. Yo. So you could say, yeah, Law don't know football, man. Law ain't blah, 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 blah. But one thing I can tell you for sure, I'm going to tell y'all real. I'm going to tell y'all the real. And I'm going to give y'all some good work. I'm going to give y'all some unbelievable time. And when the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. I'm going to motivate somebody. And I'm going to give you a little laugh. And we're going to smile the whole way. We're going to cry the whole way. We're going to be rejoiced the whole way. Y'all going to see me in my pitfalls. Y'all going to see me in my glory. Y'all going to see me even through the middle places. The highs and lows, the ups and downs. That's the whole point of YouTube. You in a tube. And content creations. You see, what happened here is the 3-ladder, the 4-ladder network came over to this space and they try to make it all perfect. But in actuality, this is how it's supposed to be. We gonna be wrong sometimes. We gonna be right sometimes. We may be in between. We gonna get into some people's feelings. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything taut and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, and fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all terror, of your mind for it, if you would simply write that down. Just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold poverty or famish or fame or the sickness of your body or brain can turn you away, even from the haters that's watching down, that would tell you that it's been 27 years or 28 years or 29 years. It could be 100,000 years. When you're true to something, you're going to be true to it. It's not tied to conditions. And a lot of people think that you only root for a team that's winning. The moral of the story is, my mom root for me even when I was down. My mom root for me even when I was up. My mom root for me even when I was in the middle. And don't y'all think that what Mama Parsons is doing for her son. Even when he's down, she's rooting for him. Even when he's low, she's rooting for him. So yes. Don't be a fickle fan. Don't be those wishy-washy people that only want to ride with you when you're hot. That only want to ride with you when you're winning. Only want to ride with you when everything is great. Be that person that ride with them, win, lose, or draw. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. I'm going to cry in the car. Let's go, baby.
This is where we hold them.
Let me go cry now.
This is where we fight.
Woo! Run it up, baby. Don't be those fickle fans that only want to ride when we win it. Only want to wear the silver and blue when we win it. That bow down to those that say we are delusional. Let's get it. If you're rocking with the nation, let me see LAW in the chat with some fire, baby. Let's get it. DC for life, not for short or not for like those fickle fans. Let's get it. Mama said. Shoot, mama go to the edge of the earth for us, man.
Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need
Salute to the dads too, though. Let's go.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides up for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Damn, I miss my mom, man.
I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling.
Well, we gonna fight through it, baby.
But baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul.
Salute to my guy, Boss Cowboy Sports.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let's go.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Don't forget, next week will be the Shriner Bowl, as well as the week after that, I think the Senior Bowl. Let's go.
Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah,
Pray for rain, you gotta deal with the
I
money.
just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clones. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone.
Let's get it, baby.
I've been really in the field. Love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey, yup.
Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Until next time, DC for life. Let's get it.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
This is where we hold them.